Hello, everybody. I hope everybody is doing well today. Was welcome. It is Tuesday, September the 19th, 2023. I'm so thankful that you're here today. Please make sure that you've clocked in for your shift by hitting the like button. It's such a great way for you to help me out. Uh, Tell me what you had for dinner. I want to know. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten dinner yet, but I have made dinner already. And it's sitting just off camera for me to snack on all throughout this evening that we have planned. Oh, who's here? Let me read. I earlier saw Daylight was here. Uh, Vicky, Jonathan, Mike, T-Rex Trucking, Granny Rita, Beverly Bradford, Lisa Figalicious. I love that. Um, Courtney, hi, baby boo. Uh, oh, right. Ron, was it Ron Mitchell who was giving me a hard time about being on time? Guess what? It's on time because I set the time. Did I say Cachette? Hi, Mayor. Who else? Melanie. Sorry. Melanie's awake. She's here. Melanie's your side chick. Okay, let me get back down to the bottom. There we go. Streamlabs. Yeah, you're here too, buddy. Whatever. Oh, okay, so I appreciate that, Jonathan. Thank you. Anyways, you guys, listen, I appreciate each and every one of you. I think you know that. If you know, right? I feel like that's how we go here. So, tell me what you had for dinner. Clock in for your shift. Take your meds if you've got them. I know most of you do. Think about doing that. We're almost on the hour. And yeah, we're going to watch Judge Kim tonight. We're doing a throwback. I wanted to do a throwback to another case that we did, which I spent a little bit of time working on this afternoon, and it didn't work out in that sense. So that'll be for later, another day. I'm really enjoying revisiting some of these cases with you guys. And oh, William says hi, Holly. Thank you very much for being William's chit chat. I love it. Did you Bottom, Jonathan, is that what that says now when you type in bottom? If you're a sub, please be the kind that rings the bell. Fuck yes, I love it. That's awesome. Melanie made a pregnancy. I was just like, how the fuck did Streamlabs get that idea in their head? I like it. Of course, it would be from one of my fabulous people. No interpreter cases, Lisa, I think, you know. Pasta salad and mashed potatoes. That sounds pretty good, Melanie. Um, Listen, pregnancy cravings can be whatever you want, and you have to give in to them. My number one hard to create pregnancy craving that I had, like sometimes you have cravings that you just stalk when you're pregnant. I've been pregnant one time, and I threw up most of it, but I had a few weird cravings. The main one being chocolate ice cream with raspberry sauce or raspberries like mushed into a sauce. Phew. Yeah, I ate a lot of that. Anyways, hi Beverly, thank you so much for being here. Seriously, uh, we're gonna watch Judge Kim. It's been a little while. I want to go back to some of our roots, some of what brought us together, and what makes us family. So we're going to watch the case. Do we remember how we play the game? We have both, oh, hi, Donna, Orlando Chiquita, Heather Dijou. Do people say Digo in the States? Um, Thanks for being here, Heather. Colin shouldn't be far behind, right? Usually you guys, it's cute. I like it. Uh, Anyways, we're watching Judge Kim. We also have probably one of the first appearances ever of what's become a mascot or a spirit animal on this channel. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe we will see the Lawrence Beaver and one of his first ever appearances on the channel, which created and spawned the Larry Beaver meme, a huge part of our channel. So, without further ado, I am going to go ahead, get us started for the evening. Like I said, we're going to have a good time. We always do, but we're going to have a real good time. Orlando Chiquita in the house. It's raining where I am right now, y'all, which is sort of sad, but it's okay. You can smell suitcase back there getting packed. Oh, Jonathan, we need to add a command for Donna or Orlando Chiquita. I'll have to think of the perfect one. Anyways, Denali, Mike, not again. She's not cooking. No, I'm not. I'm just joking, babe. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please make sure that you've clocked in for your shift or clocked in, whatever works. I hope Larry's okay too. If any of you are new here, I'm gonna do my spiel. Oh my God, I haven't done a spiel in so long. Let's see if I can remember how to do it. Okay, tonight we're gonna be. Why do you start like that? I don't know. Tonight we're going to be watching from some juvenile detention docket hearings that hail from 2020, way back during the pandemic. So things are a little bit different, but they're different for a couple different reasons. So firstly, they're different because it was at the very beginning of the pandemic. This was May of 2020. So please keep that in mind when you're watching this. The world was a bit of a different place. But secondly, they're different because these are juvenile detention hearings from the 323rd District Court of Tarrant County, Texas, of which Judge Alex Kim is the presiding judge, and he has below him a number of associate judges that also do these types of hearings. So in the adult system, you automatically have a presumption of bail when you are incarcerated pending trial. And we often hear judges and lawyers talk about that all the time. In the juvenile justice system in Texas, it is a little bit different. So the determination is in fact made by a judge. It has to be if they're going to detain or release a child that's been brought into custody. The reasons for detaining somebody can be vague or vast in a way, and you're going to see that as we watch this one. I don't know what's in this hearing. I just picked an older one. We've watched most of these on KCC 1.0 as well, and they're always a good time. So but the difference is that there's no presumption of bail or like the right to bail. So these kids basically are at the whim and mercy of how Judge Kim is feeling that day. We have actually played bingo to this before, where we try and get bingo squares like the parent made it worse, outbursts from kid, like all the different things. It's a plethora full of juicy court stuff, but it's very different than adult court. It has very little to do with law and a lot more to do with Judge Kim's feelings, because the determination is legitimately if he believes that if there's a safe adult to release the child to, and or if the child would be a danger to themselves or the community. And so, as you're going to see, the other thing to mention here, just knocked my phone over. Other thing to mention here is that Judge Kim he doesn't broadcast anymore, which is why we're watching old stuff, but Judge Kim ran probably the tightest Zoom courtroom of any, okay? You weren't allowed to be late. Like literally, he would close the room and you couldn't get in. And we all hear people like, oh, I couldn't, the Zoom issues. He was not having it from the beginning. So that's something to keep in mind. He hates ceiling fans. That's another thing to keep in mind. And what else? A few other things, but we'll see as we go. So what we do decide every time one of the kids comes up to the screen and it's their turn, what we like to try and guess is, are they going to be detained or released? and you can change your vote as many times as you want, put it in the chat, but that's what we do. Anyways, let's get going. Let me know if you have any questions. We can remember. So you're gonna see people pour in here pretty quickly. Oh, there they all. Yep. Silly William, I don't wear anything checked. Actually, before we go on, I would just like to point out, I believe this is where I met Orlando Chiquita Donna, probably for the first time, Donna, that we used to hang out in this chat. Judge Kim left the chat open. And so I've seen these hearings. Most of them I saw live with a lot of you. I know some of you were in there. And then subsequently, I've played them on my channel, and then we play them again and again. But this was in May of 2020. I remember. Yeah, that's how Donna, I remember. I was like, oh yeah, because this is what we do. We're fucking court nerds. We had so much fun. We had good laughs, but we loved getting there early. Nobody was like, and that's part of why I'm a different type of YouTuber or law tuber, I guess. Like the minutia of court, this waiting time, this sort of, the administrative time is what I really enjoyed. We would all get there. We knew the time. And just like some of us wait for different, live streams to go live, this was very much like that. And then we would, it was great. It was very much the vibe that we have going here in a way, I would like to think and hope, although with a little less weirdos, because sometimes people would like come into the chat just randos, right? We did go into withdrawals when they stopped going live, Orlando. I know. And I mean, yeah, it was incredible. Still is. Why we watch it all the time. Ooh, truth or dare. That'd be fun, Lisa. Anyways, so look at who's beside Judge Alex Kim. Lawrence Beaver. Any minute now, Judge. So the juveniles are going to come in. At this point in time, they were literally forced to bring in their own chairs because of like protocol or whatever. So each one of them brings in their own chair. I'm fine, William. I meant to be muted. I wasn't talking to you. It is actually better this. I know my USB's fine. It's fine now. We're still almost in there. Let's see how long. Oh, was that? I thought that was Larry Beaver. He is there. Larry Beaver on screen, ladies and gentlemen. There's Larry Beaver in the house. Constantly weakening that enamel structure. We need to repair prone enamel. Repair helps repair the enamel. I won't make it 20 minutes, but we used to.
So on May, in the bed with your son. And we give you drug tests on March 6th, or February 20th, we gave you a drug test. I guess we're ready to proceed. So this is the detention docket for the 323rd District Court. So we're going to start with Eric Espitia. All right, Eric, I'm Judge Kim. This is the detention docket for the 323rd. Let me explain what's going on. The law says when a child is brought to our detention facility, you have to see a judge within 2 business days, and I have to make a decision whether to keep you in custody or to release you. If I keep you in custody, the law says you have to see a judge within every 10 business days to make the same decision. Also want to let you know you have the right to remain silent. However, if you give up that right, anything you say at a detention hearing cannot be used against you at any other type of court setting. Finally, you have the right to an attorney. If you or your family cannot afford an attorney, I will provide one for you. So, let's see here.
Yeah, Colin, pretty safe to say it's always going to be weirdos in this chat, but we welcome you and we'll be nice. But yeah, it's safe. Also, your girl was already here, dude. She's braver than you.
All right, so you're brought in on February 4th for possession of weed. And we give you drug tests on March 6th, or February 20th, we gave you a drug test and you were negative. So you had stopped smoking weed. Then March 6th, you tested positive for marijuana. And then March 13th, you tested positive for marijuana again. So while you have a pending marijuana case, you stopped and then you continued to use marijuana. So now, let's see, yesterday, Eric was referred by Arlington Police Department. They were dispatched your home for domestic. When they got there, your father said that you appeared to be under influence, and when he confronted you about it, you became angry and you took a few swings at him. He said he was able to block a few of the punches, but you punched him in the head, causing him to bleed. Officer spoke to you, who was on your bed crying. You admitted to being drunk and drinking approximately 20 shots of alcohol. Let's go back to April. You were referred out of custody for possession of weed. About 6 o'clock in the morning on March 10th, they were referred to your house for a domestic. And according to your mom, she opened the door to your bedroom, found 2 females in the bed with your son.
Shit. Okay. I mean, yeah, you gotta be, can't, I mean, I hope they were of age.
One of the females woke up and climbed out the window. On the floor, the foot of the bed, she found a baggie that had weed in it, or it looked like weed. She took the bag, emptied liquor bottles, said you woke up, then went back to sleep, and the female was not waking up. She thought y'all were drunk. The female was identified, taken to the hospital because they couldn't find her mother. When your mom asked you about the weed, you said you didn't know where it came from or how it got into your room. You said you were addicted to weed, but you did not smoke any that day. Your mom turned over the weed to the police. You admitted to drinking alcohol and being intoxicated. So you were cited for consumption of alcohol and possession of marijuana. All right. Well, I don't know why juvenile probation didn't tell me that you're testing positive for weed while you have a pending weed case, because I would have brought you back into detention just for that. The fact that.
So I think we already let this one out the bag. This kid's getting detained. Don't you think they're going to keep him in detention? What do you guys think? Detained or released? Let me know in the chat. What do you think's going to happen to this kid who was Mac Daddy in the bed with two ladies? Although I don't like that one was taken to the hospital, but that was that only because they couldn't find her mother, or was she requiring medical care? That's like a big distinction. Dismissed or detained from Hector. Oh my gosh, my brain can't handle that. Give him the greatest kid in the world award. Dismissal Dan would find there isn't probable cause. Probably, Colin. You know how it is. Oh, I'm not making a big deal about it, but I think dismissal Dan's on holiday and I'm having my own set of withdrawals. But I am not. Nobody is to infer any sort of correlation between my trip down south. He was live today. Was he, Colin? Oh. That's what we'll watch after this if we're still going.
Now you picked up a family violence case, just makes it worse. And you decide it's okay to drink alcohol and smoke weed while you have a pending case. So for your safety, to prevent you from using drugs, alcohol, and being involved in that culture, I'm going to go ahead and detain you. All right? Thank you, Eric. You have Gage Gothard next.
So we have one detained. Let's see what happens with Gage as he drags in his own chair. Come on, Gage. Hi, Tommy V and MI. Look at this. We have just so many, and Hector's here too. And Sashina and T-Rex. Oh, all the creators. I love them all. Oh, interesting.
All right, Mr. Gothard, I'm Judge Kim. This is the 323rd District Court. The law says when a child is brought to our detention facility, you have to see a judge within 2 business days, and I have to make a decision whether to keep you in custody or to release you. If I keep you in custody, the law says that you have to see a judge every 10 business days. Also, want to let you know you have the right to remain silent, but if you give up that right, anything you say at a detention hearing cannot be used against you at any other type of court setting. Finally, you have the right to an attorney. If you or your family cannot afford an attorney, I will provide one for you. All right, so currently you were placed on probation on November 7th of 2018 for unlawfully carrying a weapon in a prohibited place, and it was a firearm. Go back a little deeper. See, you're 16 years old. So when you were 15, you were brought in for assault causing bodily injury on October 27th for an October 27th incident. Then on November 10th, you allegedly committed another assault causing bodily injury.
Judge Kim,
Yes?
I think you might be looking at the wrong kid. He only has one referral.
Oh, you know what? These are, I had a couple stapled together. Thank you, Ms. Hall. Okay, there we go. Okay, so you're on probation, which is going to expire on May 16th. And you finished family partnership program. You're on a wait list at Care House, but we don't know how long it's going to take. See, so on May 1st, police were dispatched. They met with your grandma, who said that you put her hands on her chest and pushed her, causing her to fall to the ground. But she said she wasn't hurt. Officer found you, and you said that your grandma slapped you and you shoved her, but you did not mean to cause her to fall down. You pushed her out of self-defense. All right, so grandma's here, I guess?
Yes, I am.
All right, so what's his diagnosis?
Well, Care House has a bed for him this morning. If we call before 11:30, they think they had a bed at 9:30. They're trying to hold a bed for him.
Okay, what's his diagnosis?
His diagnosis is PTSD and abandonment issues.
Okay. All right. All right, so Gage, here's my thing, right? I hate to say it, but your grandma has the right to slap you. She's the one taking care and control of you, and you're disciplined, all right? You cannot claim self-defense on this one because that is her responsibility as a parent. Now, if she goes too far and abuses you, that's a different law that's being broken. You can't claim self-defense against your parents or grandparents, okay, when they're the ones providing care for you. All right. So, what's your takeaway from this? Come on. I mean, what are you getting out of this? I mean, the police got involved. They brought you over here.
That it was a dumb idea to do that.
Right? I mean, at the time, it may have seemed like the thing to do. But now looking back, you understand that the only thing that you can control is how you react. Okay? That's literally the only thing. You can't control anything else, but that's what you can control. Right? So take ownership of that. Realize there are times that you can take control and just do it. Sometimes it just means just giving yourself a timeout. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and release you to Care House. Okay, so they have a bed ready for you. I don't want to interrupt that since you've been waiting for that. So now, I'm saying that, but what happens when you go to Care House and you get frustrated?
Try to calm myself down.
Right. The only thing you can control is how you react, right? So hopefully this experience here is just a learning experience. Hopefully I never see you again. All right, Gage? All right, thank you. All right, Keith Henderson.
Henderson. Hey, Dave. All the way around. And you sit down, put your chair straight to the front of the laptop. Take your shirt all the way around.
All right, Mr. Henderson.
Yes, sir.
All right, so you've been here for 13 days.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Berger, you requested this hearing?
I did, Your Honor.
For what purpose?
Well, at the last hearing, Judge Porter had asked Keith a very simple question, which was, can you abide by the curfew restriction? And Keith took it the wrong way and basically said he couldn't. Very poor choice of questions and answer. So the judge detained him. He was going to release him until he said that.
All right.
So rather than wait any longer, and he's been on level 1 outstanding the whole time, I thought he might get out a little bit early.
All right, so Keith, I have a couple questions for you. When you're here at Kimbo, do you have a curfew?
Yes, sir.
All right. You follow the curfew here?
Yes, sir.
Because you're level 1 outstanding since April 26th, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So you understand that your curfew is your curfew. You can either follow your curfew at home or you can follow your curfew at Kimbo, right?
Yes, sir. Follow that home.
Okay. So, I mean, that makes it pretty simple. Now, your level 1 outstanding here, I understand there's been some conflict with your mom last time. I was actually watching the hearing last time we were here, and I remember what Mr. Berger was saying. And what I could tell is I could sense mom's frustration with you, all right?
Yes, sir.
So, here's the thing is, I'm okay releasing you, but the problem is I'm not going to release you. Well, I'm thinking about releasing you because you're level 1 outstanding here at Kimbo, okay? Now, the problem is if I release you and you're not level 1 outstanding at your mom's house, what do you think I'm going to do?
Bring him back here.
I'm going to bring you back here. It's that simple for me, okay? You know, we got a bed here for you. We understand your mom's frustration. She's worried about your attitude and how you're going to be a man and you're going to be the boss, right? You're 15 years old. Okay. You turned 15 while you're here at Kimbo, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
The birthday you'll never forget, is it?
Yes, sir.
All right. So here's the thing, right? I'm looking at your behavior and looking at your past. What I don't want to see is you spending your 18th birthday, 19th birthday, 21st birthday, 30th, 40th, 50th birthday in TDC. You see where I'm going with this?
Yes, sir.
Right?
So just two little terms that we'll talk about here. Kimbo, while originally I did believe that Kimbo was Judge Kim's personal play on Gitmo or Guantanamo, and like he was calling it that prison, like where he would send kids, aka Kimbo. But it is in fact a weird coincidence that the juvenile detention facility is located on Kimbo Road. And so it is called Kimbo for that reason. TDC, on the other hand, stands for the Texas Department of Corrections. So he's saying, I don't want you to be in jail or prison, locked up in TDC for your life.
So, and here's the little trick that kids don't realize when they come through here is the kids that give their parents this attitude, this problem, they're the ones that later on end up with problems with the law. Okay?
Yes, sir.
These people that you got picked up with that night that I saw, I have a feeling that your mom did not approve of these people. Right? Mom, do you know who he was running around with that night?
No, but I do know he was with one of my nephews. But
Okay.
in Frisco, so he won't be out. He won't be out this month.
Is that nephew a person that you approve of?
I love my nephew. He never done anything like this before, just like Keith. But them two together, they act like brothers than they are cousins. But I'm gonna take him to Frisco, and they're gonna have some separation for a while.
Okay. So here's the thing, Keith. I'm releasing to your mom on electronic monitor. And the reason why I'm doing electronic monitor is because you gave kind of some pushback as far as the curfew, right? And then we'll see how it goes. After 30 days, we may take it off. But really, all that has to happen is your mom has to call us and say, hey, look, Keith isn't a level 1 outstanding here. Keith is giving me problems. He's not following the rules. He's not doing his chores. And then we just bring you back here. It's that simple. You're earning your time at home by doing what you're supposed to do. Okay? You're 15. Don't be a grown-up yet. Just be 15. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Am I going to have a problem with you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Curfew's not a problem.
Yes, sir.
Mom's house rules, not a problem.
Yes, sir.
What if she says, I don't like that kid? Stop hanging around with him. What do you do?
Move around.
Right? There you go. She's the boss. I'm telling you what, Keith, it's you and me and your mom are playing 2-on-1 basketball against you. And you can't win 2-on-1. You know that, right?
Yes, sir.
You're not that good. Okay. All right, Mom. Let us know if there's any problems, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes, I'll have one here for you to pick up, Miss Paxton. All right. We'll go Joshua Ingram. Mr. Adler, are you here? Mr. Adler?
Is the guy sitting on the couch on the floor in front of the couch down there? So, Sheena, I'm going to give you a little tip, something that I just learned about Discord. When somebody writes at everyone in Discord, that's a mention. And that is you being mentioned. So it's not always them actually saying your name. So you gotta shut that off in one of the options, and then it'll only send you updates when it's your name. Also, I think I did that automatically for our whole Discord, mine, but I don't know if I did it successfully or not. But regardless, I like Discord because it's a great messaging app. It works really well for that. And you use it as much as you want, and you don't ever feel bad. If somebody needs something from you and they have you on Discord and they at you and you don't get back to them, I personally believe it's incumbent on that person to message you directly. And then it'll just be in your inbox, in your direct messages. because yeah, sometimes things don't work. I mean, it's a little different with me. When people come and drop something in my office on Discord, I go and look there. But I'm just talking about as a general feeling. You shouldn't feel bad that you're not seeing all those. Like I think people worry a lot about Discord for some reason, and it's actually, you can make it as much as you want or as little. Nobody ever needs it. You don't need to do anything on there. Some people make it a really big deal. They're like so serious about it, and they have like rules and fucking all that stupid shit. That's not what my Discord's gonna be. But I will put an area on the Discord where we'll leave the links, right? Yeah, I like it, Grim. I laugh. I go to my office, and this is the other thing too. You have to understand something. I am that perfect boss that you wish you had, who pops into her office once a week or twice a week to check her messages. I'm out of the office most of the time, guys. That's the way my life goes. So again, if you want a message back right away, you're going to have to message me directly. But if you want to leave something in my office, and people can peek into my office whenever they want, come on by. We got fun stuff in there. Grim, you left something in there the other day that made me laugh so fucking much. I was just like, oh my God, that's me, a hundy pee. I love it. Anyways, I just wanted to break in and say that also, the Cassandra down there with a K, he is sitting on the floor in front of the couch, right? Hi, Rebecca. Welcome. Hope you're doing well tonight. Can you go ahead and clock in for my shift? Or clock in for your shift. My shift's already started a while back. But clock in for your shift. That would be great. And yeah, Melanie, yeah, you got my number, girl. Also, I think it caught Mark Rickman. Look, guys, watch this real close. Okay, Mark Richmond. He's gonna yawn. He's in the middle right now, third down from the top, middle, fifth, like third in the middle. He about to yawn. Just watch him. He's trying his hardest to hide it, but just watch. Okay, here we go.
Have some back over the laptop. Get the shirt to the room, everything else, shirt to the room.
All right, Mr. Ingram, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. The law says when a child is brought to our detention facility, you have to see a judge within 2 business days, and I get to make the decision on whether to keep you in custody or to release you. If I keep you in custody, the law says you have to see a judge every 10 business days to make the same decision. You have the right to remain silent, but if you give up that right, anything you say at a detention hearing can be used against you, cannot be used against you at any other type of court setting. And finally, you have the right to an attorney. If you or your family cannot afford an attorney, I will provide one for you. All right, so Mr. Ingram, what I'm seeing here is you're level 3 unacceptable.
Oh, good reminder, Judge Kim. Last thing, when you're at Kimbo, there is a level system that you have to hit in order to like abide by all their rules. If you are the best kid in the world, you listen to everything they do, you are a level 1 outstanding, or they call it a 1-0. But you can be a 1, 2, or a 3, and you can be an outstanding, you can be acceptable, and you can be unacceptable, I think. And then the last one is confined, which means you literally are confined to your room because of your behavior. So oftentimes back in the day, Donna will remember this too, we walk in and be like, how's everybody doing today? Be like, I'm a level 1-0. I'm doing good. Or I'm a 2C or a 3C today, bitch. I've been bad.
All right, and so I'm going to go ahead and detain you. If you can't behave back here, you can't behave in the community. Thank you, sir. Don Johnson. Okay.
Don Johnson, bring your chair.
It was 3U. What I found out is 3 unacceptable is actually a lot of times worse than 3 confined. Because sometimes you can do you didn't mean to do. 3U, you work yourself there. All right, so Mr. Johnson, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. The reason why you're here is because when a child is brought to our detention facility, you have to see a judge within 2 business days, and I have to make a decision on whether to keep you in custody or to release you. If I keep you in custody, then the law says that you have to see a judge every 10 business days to make the same decision. You have the right to remain silent, but if you give up that right, anything you say at a detention hearing cannot be used against you at any other type of court setting. Finally, you have a right to an attorney. If you or your family cannot afford an attorney, I will provide one for you. All right, so Mr. Johnson, see, you just turned 15 years old. See, Arlington Police brought you here. I signed a warrant for you on April 9th for you violating curfew and associating with other children on probation. You're currently on probation for theft of property. And we gave you a drug test. You're positive for weed. And you were just brought in the day before your birthday. So you just spent your birthday in here.
Ugh, what a horrible birthday. My God, that would suck. Orlando Chiquita, some of the stories did have us in tears, literally crying, sometimes of laughter, sometimes actually empathy, like we were empathetic. Also, Presto, thank you for being here. We know you like to yell. We know you're only a troll for me or whatever, but thank you for being here. Mikey Creedence, Mikey, good evening. I hope you're doing well. 1 week today, meetup time, baby. I'm quite excited. We are flying back in time to Judge Kim, which I know you guys used to do on your channel as well. Just for some 323rd District Court fun, if you will. What do we think? Is he going to get detained or released? That's the question here. It's such an easy one to do every night. I wonder why I kept doing it.
All right, so probation is asking for you to be released to your mom because your mom wants to move to Collin County. Here's the thing. So, Ms. Gonzalez, there's a child on probation. He has picked up 2 cases since then. Both of them were not accepted, but he still was picked up on them. He's associated with other juveniles on probation that he's not supposed to do. He's violating his curfew. We issued a warrant for him, and he didn't turn himself in for a month. We had to go pick him up through Arlington Police Department, and he's smoking weed. So why should I release him?
Your Honor, our original plan after we had an administrative hearing was to release him back to his mother on electronic monitor. However, she just notified me this morning that they are now living in McKinney. And so our plan, after I spoke with my supervisor, was to ask for interim supervision. I know the mother has been really trying to relocate her family because of all the issues that have come up in the neighborhood. And I guess the types of people he's associating with. And so his mother is hopeful that moving to McKinney is going to alleviate some of that by him not being around those 2 individuals, Jaden Clinton and Jacob Livingston.
So here's my thing. Like, Judge Wheelis is the juvenile judge in Collin County, and I like Cindy. I mean, she and I are friends. Why would I want to send Don to her? Like, that's not very friendly. He's a kid that's on probation. He's using drugs while on probation. He's committing new offenses, or he's getting arrested for new offenses, and he is affiliating with other people. Like, what is he doing right on probation?
He is involved in TCAP, and I just received a report from them, and it looks like he was engaging with them successfully. I'm kind of surprised that he was still keeping in contact while he was on the run. And he was also participating in FIT. It's my understanding that that counselor had reported a couple missed visits with him. So I know the engagement there wasn't as successful. During this time while he was on run, according to his mother, he was coming in and out of the house, but it wasn't long enough for us to, or for her to issue or call the police to report him. So she had been seeing him apparently kind of in and out of the house.
So he was a runaway for about a month.
That's correct.
Right. All right, Mr. Johnson, I'm not sure I like this, but I'm going to go ahead and release you to your mom. I'm going to give you a fair warning, okay? Judge Wheelis is very different than me. She and I get along fabulously. But here's the problem. Judge Wheelis overly cares. Like, she will be all up in your business. She will know everything about you. She will get regular reports about you personally. That's just the kind of judge that she is, right? For me, I'm very matter of fact. I just look at what happened, what you've done, and make my decisions. She gets up in your business, okay? And there's all kinds of placements that she's engaged in. You may be going to places for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year. She may be sending you off of those to try and help you. So what I need to let you know is, I'm letting you know that I'm very matter of fact, and it's very cut and dry for me. For Judge Wheelis, there's a whole lot of personal attention. If you continue with these shenanigans with Judge Wheelis, your life is going to be very miserable until you finally figure out either you follow the rules or you don't follow the rules. It's one or the other. Okay? It can become very painful with Judge Wheelis in Collin County. So I'm not sure this is putting you in a better situation, but it's a situation that you got. Okay? My advice to you, just follow the rules. You do not want to be in Judge Wheelis's court breaking all the rules. For me, I'll just bring it back to Kimbo, and we'll have short conversations like this. With Judge Wheelis, you're talking about it drawing out for years. You'll be doing this till you're 19 years old. She will hold you for that long, and she will know everything about you. All right? So
What a weird flex from another judge to be like, this judge cares so much about you. I give no shit. Seriously? You just want to like deal with your shit with me? You'll be done. Like, what the fuck?
either take my advice or don't, but I recommend you take my advice. Just follow the rules. It'll be that simple. If you follow the rules, man, she's great. No problems at all. Okay? All right. Thank you.
Also, how many times in my life have I heard that? Literally this.
Either take my advice or don't, but I recommend you take my advice. Just follow the rules. It'll be that simple. If you follow the rules, man, she's great. No problems at all. Okay? All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Caitlin Lopez.
I hate following rules.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, Mr. Chairman, on the table.
Straight release. Collin County.
Tank top in court. That's my move, lady. What the fuck?
Ms. Herrick.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm firing you on Melissa Soto.
Okay.
The request of bilingual, so Mr. Adler is going to be appointed that one.
Oh, did you see my face? Oh, did you see my face when he said they were firing her? And I wasn't looking at him, so that was my bad. Oh my God. Judge Kim, like, he likes to joke, but he's serious as fuck. He thinks he doesn't care about other, like, getting involved. He does. He totally does.
Okay, I understand.
I was going to been fired. You've been traded.
I understand.
All right, Ms. Soto. All right, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing for the 323rd. Let me explain what's going on. The law says when a child is brought to our detention facility, that you have to see a judge within 2 business days and have to make a decision
Excuse me,
whether.
Your Honor.
Yes.
That's not my sister. That's not Melissa Soto.
Now that's my daughter.
This is Caitlin Lopez. Ms. Soto will be last.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think we have the wrong parents. All right. All right.
Thank you, Melanie.
So are you the parent for Caitlin Lopez?
I'm her mother.
Okay. All right. So Ms. Lopez, the younger Lopez, this is a detention hearing. The purpose of this hearing is to make a decision whether to keep you in custody or to release you. If I keep you in custody, the law says you have to see a judge every 10 business days while you're here to make the same decision. I want to let you know you have the right to remain silent, but if you give up that right, anything you say at a detention hearing cannot be used against you at any other type of court setting. Finally, you have the right to an attorney. If you or your family cannot afford an attorney, I will provide one for you. All right, so see, Caitlin, back started when you were 13, you had a assault, which was dismissed for deferred prosecution. Then I guess earlier this year, you ran away from home. And so according to the police, on April 17th, about 11:30, police were dispatched to a home. Mom said she was assaulted by Caitlin, said one of her other children told her there was a funny smell coming from Caitlin's room. Mom went there because you have a history of vaping. You searched the room and searched Caitlin. You scratched and pushed her mom, causing pain and redness on her arms. Mom tried to search you, but was continually met with resistance. Eventually, you pushed mom hard enough that she fell over the bed and hit her foot on the nightstand. She tried to get up, but you were pushed down again by Caitlin and hurt her back on the wood bed frame.
Yeah, this sounds a bit like the Johnny Depp story, right? Beverly is so sweet. You guys are so sweet. Seeing about me wearing colors. I can't wear every color, but I appreciate it. And I've hit a lighting sweet spot tonight, I think, to be honest with you. Sometimes it's just lighting. I love y'all. Yeah, they are great vape holders. See, look, is in there, and I know where it is. I'm always, if I go like this, it's because I'm checking to see if I put something in there.
Okay, so that was April 18th. Back March 9th, there's an officer on patrol at Walmart, said that there's a female juvenile without shoes on. He asked what was wrong, said your parents are out of town, you didn't have anywhere to go, and you were running away from color. I remember that one. Yeah, I remember, Caitlin, because the conversation that we had was, if I let you go, you got to follow the rules at home.
Your Honor,
Yes?
this is her actual second assault on me. The story.
Correct. No, I see that. I'm getting there. On March 6th, there's another. Police were dispatched for domestic. Said that you were assaulted on February 23rd. You're trying to punish Caitlin by taking her cell phone away and refused to give it back. So.
Yeah, don't take my phone away. So I paid my
Miss Paxton, did we give her a drug test when she came in?
Your Honor.
I had the same phone number since I was 15.
Yes, we did on the 18th, and she was negative for all substances.
Oh, she's been here since they, okay.
Yes,
So, oh, this is a 10-day?
this is a 10-day, yes.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Caden. So I'm glad you're level 1 out. Why is she only made level 1 out today? Why did she dip down?
Your Honor, I show she had some minors, disrespectful staff by rolling eyes, argumentative about phone call, laughing at peer. It's all been minor stuff.
Okay, so just
Also, just like let's just recap the rules in there. Rolling your eyes gets you in trouble. I've said this so many times when we watched these before, and I'll say it again. I'm fucking lucky I was never locked up, because put me in one fucking time, they'd never let me go, because I'm not able to not be defiant sometimes. Like, even watching these, my defiance kicks into gear for these kids. I'm like, girl, put your fucking hand down. It ain't gonna help you, but I get you. I fucking get you. These people are mad that you rolled your fucking eyes. So I'm sorry I rolled my fucking eyes. Anyways.
major attitude problem.
Yes.
Ms. Lopez, if you want to talk about the facts of the case, I don't really want to. I'd rather you stay quiet and just have that conversation with the attorney. If you want to talk about your behavior level, I'm interested.
I was a 1-0, except for yesterday. Since not last Tuesday, but the Tuesday before that, except for yesterday. I was for like 2 weeks straight.
All right. So, no, I believe it. I think the big problem, Caitlin, is, here's the thing, you're going to do it your way. That's in your mind. You've just set on it to do it your way, and nobody's going to tell you otherwise. It doesn't matter what the rules are. It doesn't matter what consequences are. And I need you to understand that all your decisions in life have consequences, whether it's against your mom or against the detention staff or with me. That's the way life is. And I don't know if you come to grips with that or not. I do know you have a court setting on the 6th. That's in 2 days. So I'm just concerned, especially because you've run away before and that you're a repeat offender, evidently against your mom. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep you in here at least until your court setting. Yes, ma'am.
I don't remember what I was gonna say. Oh, my last judge said if I was a 1-0, I would be able to get out today.
If you were level 1-0,
Mm-hmm.
and how long did you have to hold it for?
I don't know. He just said I had to be a 1-0. Or 10 days.
Oh,
Yeah, we all know that. So generally what happens, the rule is when the kids come into detention, it takes them a couple days to get to level 1-0. You don't start out at 1-0 because you're a fucking juvie. So you start low and then you have to work your way up by doing everything right and not sassing and not rolling your eyes, all of that. And then is it that offensive when somebody rolls their eyes? You see, I don't see myself do it, although I might catch the tiny tail end of it, but I do it a lot and people fucking hate it for some reason. I don't get it. She's got a good point there, except that she dropped down yesterday and that's going to be a problem. They get participation trophies, Lisa, in the form of getting to get out of jail when they do what the fuck they're told. That's the participation trophy.
okay. Yeah. So Judge Porter said he would consider release. He's not going to consider release. Judge Porter told you he will not even consider the release unless you're level 1-0. Okay. He didn't make a deal saying if you're level 1-0, you get out. That's the first step, is to be level 1-0. Okay. And you're there. But what I'm considering is the fact there's only 2 days until your next court setting, right? I'd just rather keep you here because your mom cannot continue to be a victim of your decisions.
Well,
Okay?
me and my mom talked about me and her together going to counseling and stuff and working out our problems. And I'd really like to go home and be able to do that.
Right. And I imagine you'll have the chance once we go through the next court setting to dispose of your case. Here's the thing, all right? You can have, you're 15, right?
Yes.
Okay. You are not the first 15-year-old in history to have a conflict with your mom. Okay. That is what mothers and daughters do. Your mom, when she was 15, she had conflicts with her mom. Okay. I promise you this. And Ms. Paxton, she had conflicts with her mom when she was 15. This is a natural part of what life is. Mothers and daughters just have that. They have that stress, and you grow closer, and then you have some division, you grow closer, and that's just the way mankind works. Here's the problem. There are decisions that were made.
Wenlaw 007, thank you for being here. Jody Gardner, thank you for being here. Somebody else came into, I saw. MB, thank you for being here, my friend. Clock in for your shift, hit the like button. Judge Kim, I think you're being a little bit hopeful. I mean, not every mother-daughter relationship improves to the point of being okay. Sometimes parents are immature and emotionally stunted. So it's not always the kid's fault either.
That brought me into the situation, that brought the courts into the situation. And that's what removes this from this natural progression of this dynamic between mothers and daughters. Now you have a third party who doesn't know you, who doesn't know your mom, doesn't know your family history, your family dynamics, your struggles, your blessings. I don't know any of that. I look at everything very detached, as a matter of law, very factually, right? And what I'm concerned about is I have a girl here who's been here a couple times for family.
What I'm concerned about, though, Judge Kim, when you talk about it like that, it sounds good, except that you're only looking at her shit. Nobody's asking mom what the fuck's going on with her. Because, again, if we have a kid who can behave in custody, and that's what we have right here. We have a girl who, for the most part, has managed to make it to level 1 outstanding in incredibly difficult and strict rules in juvie, but yet she lashes out to the point of violence at home. Does she do that at school? If not, maybe we need to start looking at the common denominator here.
Violence against her mother, who has also been a runaway, right? I'm worrying about the supervision. I'm worried about the safety of you. I'm worried about your decisions. So had you not crossed that line where the police had to get involved, you and your mother would be working this out just like Miss Paxton and her mom did. Okay. Unfortunately, now that I'm here now, I have to make these decisions as an outsider, and you have to reach me being on a different comfort level. Did you want to say something?
My mom will be with me the entire time. If I'm released, I'll be at court Wednesday. I really, really want to go home. I've been doing good. I just want to go home.
I understand. And that's part of the situation. Is part of my concern is you will be with your mom nonstop because she is the alleged victim in 2 cases. And also part of this is also the consequences. At the time when when they're saying that you pushed your mom down, at the time that they're saying that you were vaping in your room or you didn't want to be searched, you were making decisions saying, what I'm doing now is worth the consequences that are to come. And these are part of the consequences, right? And this is part of the process. So I understand how much you want to go home. And I'm like 90% sure that things will be fine in the next 2 days and won't be a problem. My bigger thing is there are consequences to your decisions. Decisions were made, right? And this is what happens from those decisions. And this is part of the process that I'm trying to show you in the future when you're coming across the situation, saying, no, it's not worth it. I am sure at this point, if it's true that you were vaping in your bedroom, that you would much rather your mom have caught you with a vape pen than you being here akimbo.
And I understand that, but that's not even what happened. I was with.
I'm going to stop you. Hold on. I don't want to talk about the facts because I don't want to put your attorney in the spot. Your attorney is trying to defend you, and I don't want you to say anything to me, even though it can't be used. You see down there where it says Mark Richmond?
No.
Good-looking man in the tie and the suit?
I can't see that on my screen.
Okay. Well, he is the prosecutor, and he represents the district attorney's office, and he is taking notes. So if you say anything, even though it can't be used against you, it may make your punishment more difficult.
So notice what he said there, which is the complete opposite of what happens in adult court. Even though what you say can't be held against you, as in a later juvenile hearing, they are not able to impeach somebody with their testimony given in a detention hearing. So whatever you say here cannot be used against you. However, the prosecutor can listen to it and then utilize that to steer their investigation. And so that is why it's still a good idea to remain silent, because that is why the prosecutor's here. If they weren't able to use any of the information they learned, then it wouldn't even be sensible for them to be here. But they can, and they do. They just can't literally impeach them on the words. So, but if she says something here and admits to another small crime or admits to anything like that, that is going to be looked into by the prosecutor.
Then can my mom tell you she started to earlier, but she got...
That will be on for May 6th. That'll be something she needs to talk to your attorney about, okay?
I really want to go home with my mom.
I understand. I totally get it. I am not taking that away from you at all. I know you want to go. What I need you to do is understand there are consequences to your decisions.
And I do understand them. That's why I've been here. I've been here for 2 weeks without my family.
And that's why you're continuing to be here. That's what you have to understand is you don't get to control this, right? This is part of the consequences of life is sometimes you make decisions that other people decide what the outcome is. That's what you're not grasping right now.
I understand that, but even if I'm getting out, I'm not going to be able to do, I'm going to be sitting in my room, cleaning the house, doing chores. It's not like I'm going to be out here having fun. I want to be with my family, and I've been here for 2 weeks without them. And I've done what I need to do back here. I'm doing great in school right now, and I haven't gotten in trouble.
I understand. So are you trying to convince yourself or trying to convince me?
Daylight Disinfectant, thank you for being here. Also, love your comment there, bottom right. Large star balancing on the kid's head. That's not a kid. That's a lawyer. One of the best ones in the whole thing. That's Lisa Herrick. She's the hot lawyer that everybody wants to fuck in the chat. They always did. She's a maker. Welcome. Thank you for being here. If you're just arriving, please make sure that you've clocked in for your shift by hitting that like button. We're doing a Turn Back Time Tuesday. Is that what I called it? Turn Back Time Tuesday. So we're watching old hearings from 2020 in the 323rd District Court of Tarrant County, Texas. And things are a little different when we're talking juvenile. So feel free to ask any questions. What do you think he's going to do? Let's get our votes in right now, actually. Perfect timing. Is he going to release her or is he going to detain her? What do you think? Let me know.
You.
Okay, but my decision is already made. See, this is the part of the consequences you're not understanding is there are times where you make decisions where other people make decisions. It's not that you can talk your way into it or out of it or sell yourself or sell the idea, right? That's not what it's about. The idea is you put yourself into a situation where somebody else now makes the decision, no matter how persuasive or what you want it to change. That's what life is about. Your mom has that with her boss, where she makes decisions and her boss makes decisions, and there's consequences to those decisions, right? This is outside.
It's a hot girl lawyer, Cachette. Lisa Herrick down at the bottom. Now you got me singing Cher, y'all. If I could turn. No, can't do that. Also, I'm vaping in my room too. But I love that everyone wrote detained because everyone knows, but I still have that wish and hope sometimes that Judge Kim will be swayed.
Outside of your control right now. This is based on your prior actions. I don't think you truly understand that when I say consequences, it's not just like swift punishment and it's over. Consequences means you put yourself in an entirely different situation.
I understand that. Me and her want, but I want to fix things. Me and her.
If you understood that, then you wouldn't be trying to convince me.
Your Honor?
Yes.
Okay.
Dun, da, 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 da. Jay from Michigan is here. Also, do we know who is speaking right now, ladies and gentlemen? I believe this is the original, the first, the OG appearance from Mr. Larry Beaver. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Seriously, based off of a real life lawyer right there.
This is Larry Beaver. So, Caitlin, I'll call you later on today and we can discuss this, please. So I'm sorry, just please be patient. Please be patient. Stay on level 1, okay? Let me call you later on today. I spoke with both you and your mother, but let me speak with you later on this afternoon, please. Okay, thank you. Please be patient.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Beavers. We have Calvin Moore. I don't think she understands the consequences, man. All right, Mr. Moore, I am Judge Kim. You're turning 17 in just a couple weeks.
Oh, okay, ladies and gentlemen. When you turn 17 in juvie, in Kimbo, what happens, ladies and gentlemen? Does anybody remember what happens when you turn 17 when you're in Kimbo? I'm going to give you a hint. It is not a birthday cake. Okay, they do not get you a cake to celebrate your milestone birthday of 17 in juvie or in Kimbo. What is it? Come on now, somebody can put it in the chat. If you don't remember, that's okay. I do. They double your food ration. Eating a steak's nice, but eating beaver is better. That's actually very true, Mayor. TJDC, big boy jail, treated as an adult, the big house. So what happens is Judge Kim will give what I imagine he'll give here in just a moment, which is a reminder that as soon as they turn 17, they are able to be housed downtown in the regular jail. And he will explain that they need to reach and maintain level 1 outstanding and not cause any problems. Because if they do, he will literally yeet them out of there and put them in the big house. Exactly. So I bet that's what he's going to say here. Now, we've seen kids before actually make that decision. by choice, begging basically to be sent down to the adult jail. Because guess what? They don't give no fucks if you roll your eyes in adult jail in the same way. There's other more serious rules, but it's also very different. So.
Yes, sir.
Right. So this is a detention hearing. I make a decision whether to keep you in custody or release you. If I keep you in custody, the law says you have to see a judge every 10 business days to make the same decision. I also want to let you know you have the right to remain silent, but if you give up that right, anything you say at a detention hearing cannot be used against you at any other type of court setting. Finally, you have a right to an attorney. If you or your family cannot afford an attorney, I'll provide one for you. All right. So, Mr. Moore, brought in, there's a year ago for resisting arrest and assault bodily injury. You had deferred prosecution. And then, you're 16 years old. You had a criminal trespass in August of 2019. That case is pending. Then you were released on December 2nd, 2019. Because you're brought in for aggravated robbery. 3, 4, 5 counts of aggravated robbery. You were released on May 1st. This is why we're here for failed to ID and unlawfully carrying a weapon. So let's see. On May 1st, Manfield Police had a traffic stop on a vehicle with 2 males. They smelled weed coming from the vehicle. The driver admitted he was not the owner of the vehicle, and when he was asked the name of its owner, he gave a suspicious response of having to think about it before coming up with Jonathan Jones. They ran the VIN. The owner's name was Anthony Uveda, which was very different than the driver's story. So they got the occupants out, searched the vehicle, found a duffel bag under the seat. Under which seat? Mr. Lewis?
Yes, sir.
Under which seat was the duffel bag?
One moment, sir. The driver's seat.
The driver's seat, okay. All right, so under the duffel bag was a silver Smith & Wesson 40 caliber handgun, which was stolen out of Fort Worth when they ran the serial number. When they asked the suspects whose gun this was, Calvin claimed the ownership. Also in the vehicle was a surgical glove containing 22 caliber rounds, a bag of pills that resembled ecstasy. Calvin gave the police the spelling of his name Kalvin instead of Cal, and a bad date of birth, but then eventually admitted that he had been to Kimbo. We confirmed that you're a youth on record, got a photo, and then confirmed your identity. So the aggravated robbery case is in February. Oh, there's one with a haircut. Oh yeah, where I didn't want to let you go. And now you're testing weed, positive weed. So you got 5 counts of aggravated robbery, you're smoking weed, you're rolling around in a stolen car with a stolen handgun and giving fake names to the police. So at this point, I am not comfortable releasing you. I'm gonna go ahead and detain you. And I encourage you to keep your behavior level up. Not necessarily that it's gonna help you get out, but you need to help your attorney with everything possible as far as your case is concerned. Mr. Richmond, do we know if this is a case that the state intends on seeking certification?
Where did that come from?
Not yet, Your Honor.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right, well.
Hold on.
We'll
Does
see.
that mean not yet you don't know? I'm sorry. Does that mean not yet you don't know?
No, what?
Correct, I don't know.
Okay. Thank you.
5 counts of what?
Aggravated robbery.
What?
Don't say anything, Calvin. Don't say anything, Calvin.
Mr. Moore, just don't say anything. Talk to your attorney. She can talk to you. You're not familiar with the
I will
aggravated
call
robbery?
you.
Who's my attorney?
Hold on a second. Okay, so you see Miss Herrick. She's the one, blue shirt, waving at you with a star over her head or a flower.
I need to talk to you.
Okay.
I will call you. I will call you. Do not say anything.
Mr. Moore, do not say anything. All right. You want your attorney to do as much as he can for you. You don't want to put her in a spot. Let me go over this aggravated robbery stuff. So in February, let's see, they're saying on December 2nd, 2019 at 9:30, the police were dispatched to the victim's residence on an armed robbery in progress. They made the scene and said that a visitor to residence received a direct message from Calvin requesting a haircut. Victim responded to Calvin's message, said to come alone to his apartment where he was visiting friends and he would cut Calvin's hair. Calvin came with a second person who he told to go downstairs, get his phone while he played PS4 with the victim. Shortly after, Calvin went downstairs to see what had happened with the other suspect retrieving his phone. 10 to 15 minutes later, Calvin, the other suspect, returned to the victim's apartment with the other person brandishing a handgun. Immediately, two other people wearing masks made from t-shirts with eye holes burst into the apartment, also had handguns. Victims of the offense consisted of 4 roommates and 2 visitors. One of the victims was pistol whipped and was bleeding from his forehead to his nose when the police interviewed him. So they called EMS. Another victim who was taking a timed college exam on his computer and didn't respond immediately was hit in the back of the head with a handgun. 2 of the suspects demanded, "Where is everything? Where is the case?" Kicked a bedroom door open, found a safe, demanded the victims open it. Since the safe belonged to a roommate who wasn't there, they didn't have the combination, but the safe was open. They found no money. They forced all 4 victims into the bathroom. Another victim was on the phone, which was kicked from his hand. Calvin and one of the suspects placed him on the floor and threatened to blow his head off if he moved. That room was ransacked. During the incident, it says 18-foot gold necklace, I imagine it's inches, and a medallion were taken off the victim's person. An AR-15 was taken as well. Found also iPhone, a wallet with no money, a PS4 controller, a Samsung phone, a music safe, Xboxes, 2 Xbox controllers, Jordan 11s, and $100 cash. So you understand what the law of parties is, Mr. Moore? The law of parties.
Law of parties?
Yes.
Law of parties in Texas refers to a law where, regardless if you're involved in each aspect of the crime, if you're involved in a single aspect of that crime, you can be found guilty of the entire crime. For example, if you were to go ahead and plan a bank robbery and somebody was just in charge of planning part of it, they didn't actually participate in the robbery, they didn't show up on that day, they had nothing to do with that. They could still be found guilty of that bank robbery crime due to the law of parties in Texas.
So that's a legal term. What it means is, in the state of Texas, when there's 2 or more people that engage, that commit, plan, or benefit from a crime together, they're all individually guilty of that crime. So let's say me and Mr. Lewis here, we decide we're gonna rob a bank, and Miss Herrick is joining us in the planning. And so, Mr. Lewis goes in, robs the bank. Miss Herrick is a getaway driver. I'm at home. I'm the mastermind of everything. Right? So they come home, they rob the bank, we split up the money, and we go. All 3 of us are guilty of the robbery, right? Because Miss Herrick, she participated in it. She was a getaway driver. Mr. Lewis went inside, took the money. I benefited. I knew the money was stolen. I planned it, and I took 1/3 of the money and spent it. All 3 of us would be guilty of the bank robbery. So you understand, in the state of Texas, even though you don't actually commit the crime itself, if you planned it or you benefited from it, then you can also, or participated in it, then you're also guilty of the crime as if you had any role in it. If somebody died in that process, in that bank robbery, all 3 of us would be guilty of capital murder and could face the death penalty. So I need you to understand, even if they're not saying that you personally pistol whipped anybody or held a gun or took anything, they're saying that you were complicit or you helped be part of that process.
At home, like a lazy wench, acting like a puppet master. That's Judge Kim exactly. She's a maker. I have to agree. Seriously, have to agree.
The planning or the execution of the crime, which is why I'm finding there's probable cause. I'm not saying that you did it. This is not your trial. I'm just saying there's probable cause enough for me to consider that you could have done it, and that I'm concerned about the safety of the public, especially now with the pending robbery charges. You're around in a stolen car with a stolen firearm, okay? Allegedly. So at this point, I'm going to because I feel like it's an absolute danger to the community. Yes, Mr. Lewis.
If I may remark, just to clarify, the aggravated robberies were referred out of custody while Calvin was pending the criminal trespass, which was also referred out of custody. He wasn't located for intake or for service because he was on runaway status. I've communicated with his mother about the aggravated robbery cases being referred, but I'm not clear to what extent he may have known that he was facing those charges.
Oh, okay, yes. So that's the problem with running away, is we were trying to find you so you can come in here and talk to me about this so we can figure out if I should release you or not. The fact that you ran away meant you were unavailable, you weren't checking in, so we had a warrant, or we would have had a warrant for you eventually. But yeah, so you're now being held on the aggravated robbery as well as this failure to ID and unlawfully carrying a weapon.
Just those 3.
Well, 8, 9, because you have the criminal trespass and you also have 5 counts of aggravated robbery.
What does 5 counts mean?
There were 5 victims.
I will talk to you about it. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll tell you all about
explain
it.
to you. Okay. So, Mr. Moore, I would definitely not say anything to me right now. You need, I mean, especially because your 17th birthday is coming up so quickly. All right. All right. Thank you, Mr. Moore. All right, Beth Ann Morton.
Here comes Beth Ann with her chair, long hair. What will her soul bear?
All right, so Miss Morton. Okay, so you're at ACH.
Mhm.
Having problems. Is somebody from ACH here or from the department?
No, sir.
Her CPS worker was supposed to be here, Alejandra.
Oh, Ms. Berdoza, you are here.
Yes, I am here.
Okay, well, I think she has underlying issues, which is why she's at ACH. I mean, you know, she's not level 1 outstanding, but she's level 1 acceptable. Tell me, what's the department's plan?
Your Honor, our department is looking at.
I'm sorry, the Department of Family and Protective Services.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right now, we're still locating placement for her. The only place that's willing to take her is back at ACH, but we're not wanting to send her back there just due to her physically assaulting staff. So we don't feel it's safe for anyone. So we're still locating placement at the time.
All right. Beth, you understand the situation that I'm in, right? Is because, and I'm so sorry that you have a pending CPS case, that has nothing to do with you. That's not your fault, okay? What it does have to do with you is the allegation that you assaulted one of the staff members at ACH.
Yes.
That was within your control. And so that gives great pause and concern. And I'm kind of torn here.
Sir, may I speak?
Who is?
Me.
Oh, yes.
So, my caseworker, I talked it over with her about going back to the placement. She talked to me, she said that, basically I asked her to try to put me in the shelter instead of the RTC. I asked her to put me in the shelter instead, but if that's not gonna happen, all I know is that if you do let me go back to ACH to the actual placement, I'm gonna work on not assaulting people, and I'm gonna work on trying to keep my hands to myself, and I'm gonna work on talking over, asking to go outside or talk to someone about it before I do it. Because I tried to do that in the beginning. I tried to do that. And
Beth, I'm going to cut you off here. I don't want you to go into what could have happened on the assaults, because that's a conversation for you and your attorney.
yes, sir.
Yeah.
What I'm concerned about is making sure it's a safe environment. What Alejandra is saying right now is that ACH isn't totally sold on it yet, right? Now, I know the people at ACH all the way from Dr. Carson all the way down to the people at the bottom level. And there are some great, great people there. Okay? I mean, honestly, just good people. But they have to be comfortable too. You understand? Sometimes what decisions are made, right? And there's consequences to those decisions. I will tell you what, I am not interested in keeping Beth Ann here any longer than we have to on these misdemeanors. And really for even the robbery is kind of, I mean, it's the access badge, right? I mean, I get it, but this isn't for financial gain or motive. It's really just to get out of there. So is ACH close to making a decision, do we think?
They haven't stated.
How can we find out?
I can give Linda a call.
Linda.
Aileen?
Listen,
Okay.
Linda.
At ACH?
Find out. Ms. Herrick, you have contact with Ms. Berdoza, correct?
I do, yes.
Okay. Stay in touch, Ms. Herrick. Just let me know. While I have the ability as a judge to order ACH to take her, I'm not inclined to do so. There's a certain amount of healing process, Beth Ann. Sometimes, is it Beth or Beth Ann?
Beth.
Beth, okay. Yeah, Beth, sometimes when sometimes you damage relationships where it can't be fixed right away. Sometimes you damage them so they can't ever be fixed, right?
Yes, and
So
I did write letters to everybody that I did do that to, and I wrote letters to them apologizing.
No, Beth Ann, we don't need to talk about that. I don't want to talk about the facts of the case. Right now, I'm just trying to figure out how to get you out of here. I sincerely, I mean it, I do want you out of here for this offense that you're accused of committing, but I need to make sure ACH is comfortable with it. Okay, and that is what the slowdown is because it's kind of a repercussion of what they're saying, decisions that you made.
I have a
Okay?
question.
Yes.
Is there a possible way that if my caseworker can find a shelter, not an ACH, not at all, just a regular shelter that'll take me until they actually find a place for me?
So here's part of the problem with that, all right, is if it's true that you did assault some of the staff members at ACH, then other placements are going to be very hesitant to accept you in there because they have to worry about their own staff as well, right? This is kind of the consequence of, it's one thing if it was aggression, if they're saying that you were aggressive towards other residents versus staff members, right? That's what's causing all the complication here. So trust me though, I mean, I'm a straight shooter, all right? Ms. Herrick knows, everyone knows. You have my word. I do not want you to stay here for this offense. I don't need to keep you here. I just need a safe place to release you to. Not just safe for
Your
Beth.
Honor, something else that Beth wanted everyone to consider is a foster placement. She did very well at her last foster placement, and it wasn't her fault that she was removed from that home. And so I don't want to speak for you, Beth, but the last conversations that we've had, she's been very vocal about wanting to go to another foster situation. She does well with that one-on-one.
That one's easy. All right. So Ms. Berdoza, then if you can, for ACH, then I would like to order you all to do a foster search, a placement search, and just see if there's one available. If there is, please let Ms. Herrick know. Like I said, my goal is to get her out of here. I just need a safe place. So if y'all are wanting to take her back at ACH, great. If y'all can find a foster placement or do a search, if one turns up, then that's also very good too. All right. Beth, I meant it when I say I want to get you out of here. I just need to do it in a safe way. Okay. If there's other alternatives or other, other solutions, I'm open ears. Okay. All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you.
John Sanchez.
John Sanchez.
Also, Jay from Michigan. Yes, they are carrying their chairs. Sorry, my vape pen was falling out of the way. Also, get kicked, not from here.
All right, Mr. Sanchez, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. The law says when a child is brought to our facility, you have to see a judge within 2 business days and have to make a decision to keep you in custody or to release you. If I keep you in custody, the law says you have to see a judge every 10 business days to make the same decision. I'll let you know you have the right to remain silent, but if you give up that right, anything you say at a detention hearing cannot be used against you at any other type of court setting. Finally, you have a right to an attorney. If you or your family cannot afford an attorney, I will provide one for you. All right, so John, you previously in 2019 had a criminal mischief case with a supervisory caution. Then on May 1st, you were brought in as a runaway. Police were dispatched to meet complainant at Fitzgerald Elementary. When they got there, they saw the youth sitting in front of the school. Identified yourself as John Sanchez. They figured out you're a runaway and detained you. And that you told the police officers you did something bad and you wanted to turn yourself in. You said you burglarized an Easy Mart on Collins Street. They identified you as a suspect in a recent burglary. They brought you back home, spoke with your mom, and you grabbed some belongings and tried to leave the house. You told the police that you were not going to stay and you continued to leave. After speaking with the supervisor, because you refused to say, and no one else could take you, that you were brought here to Kimvo. Back in February, Arlington police brought you in. It was reported that John's mother said that you ran away and took her car without permission, drove around Arlington, hit a mailbox at about 4 in the morning, and ditched the car with damage. And you're brought in, testing positive for weed. All right, so Mom, I think I remember you. We talked before, right?
I'm not sure.
It was maybe a different judge. Okay. So, all right, here's the thing, right? Like,
right? Like, how do you not know if you talked to a judge about your kid before? That seems like a pretty easy thing to know. Right? Right? Also, I think it's a med check time, guys. It's been about an hour and a half since we started our stream tonight. Med check, med check, med check. That means if you take meds, go ahead and take them or think about taking them when you need to. And if you don't, come on down to the chat, subscribe, and tell us what that's like.
I like the fact that he's at the school, he's talking to the police, he's very honest with the police, admitted to burglarizing a building, told the police he was going to leave. I'm relying on you, Mom. Like, where are we with this? Is he, if I release him to you, is he going to run away again?
I believe if he comes home, then he needs to be on like house arrest. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we can put an electronic monitor on him, but the problem is that doesn't keep him from running away. It just tells us where he is when he runs away. All right, so that's like, I gotta know. I mean, do I release him to you? Is he gonna run away again?
I think that will deter him from running away.
I'm sorry?
I believe that'll deter him from leaving. And then I don't know if they can put it in order for him to stay away from my sister's residence and her children.
Yeah, we can do all that.
I think
So you're confident? You think having an electronic monitor, the accountability will keep him at home?
Yeah, I believe so.
All right. Well,
That and
I'll trust you on this one. All right, so John, what I can do is you owe your mom. I don't know why your mom's doing this, because you're the one that evidently took her car allegedly and wrecked it and ditched it, and you know your mom loves you obviously. So I am going to defer to your mom on this one. Your big thank you for this one, for sticking her neck out for you and vouching for you. And so I'm placing on electronic monitor, and you will have to abide by the conditions that your mom will set up with your probation officer on where you can go, where you cannot go. Okay. Now I'm gonna let you know, I want to have this conversation with you, that if I let you go on electronic monitor your mom, you decide to run away, keep your monitor on, right? Let us pick you up. Because if you cut that monitor off and you ditch it and you throw it away, there's a good chance I won't let you out again until you pay us back for the monitor that you threw away. Okay? Which means until your mom comes up the money to pay for it. How much are monitors running now? Does anybody know?
What? Judge Kim, what did you say? I think he was talking to me. Like, he's still here. How much does an ankle monitor cost? What do we think? Probably more than most fun toys we'd all like to be playing with. Guesses? Anybody?
Mr. Dawson, you know?
$1,500? Mike says $0. Oh, 400. $499.99. She's a maker says 1,500. I don't know. That seems expensive to me. 0.0. $37. Let's see. $250 from MB. $9.99 from Melanie. Do you mean $999? It's involved with the government, at least $1,500. Loud Elvis, fucking $25. $200 from Jody.
How much monitors cost these days?
Yeah, because it is the technology. I've heard up to $1,200 could be the price.
$1,200. So we'll just keep you here until your mom comes up to $1,200 to pay back for the monitor, the GPS monitor. Okay. So make sure if you decide to cut it off, you don't throw it away. But my advice is not just don't run away, right? Because what happens if you run away? What happens if you run away? We'll find you eventually, right? And then where do you end up?
Here.
What?
Here.
I can't hear you.
Here.
Here, right. Right. You run away. Forever's a long time. You can't stay a runaway until you're 80 years old, right? You'll eventually be caught. You'll come back to Kimbo or to downtown jail. It doesn't go away just because you run away. So, all right. Follow the mom's rules. Make sure, be extra nice to her. Clean the bathrooms for her or something. Cook dinner, do the dishes. You are one, okay? All right. Thank you. Michael Sanchez.
Michael Sanchez. Come on, put your. Yeah. Come in. Grab some.
All right, Mr. Sanchez, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. The purpose of the hearing is when
Mikey, that is not nice. Dirty Sanchez, his friends call him dirty.
a child's brought to our detention facility, you have to see a judge within 2 business days. I have to make a decision whether to keep you in custody or to release you. If I keep you in custody, the law says you have to see a judge every 10 business days to make the same decision. Also, I want to let you know you have the right to remain silent, but if you give up that right, anything you say at a detention hearing cannot be used against you at any other type of court setting. Finally, you have a right to an attorney. If you or your family cannot afford an attorney, I will provide one for you. All right.
Hi, Becca. Oh my God, you guys, I could do that mom's hairstyle. I'm going to do that. Just give me 1 second. I'll be off screen for a moment, but I want to say hi, Becca. I hope your vision is doing a little bit better today. Okay, we got two side buns with a little side sweep coming right up.
So, Michael, this all started, let's see, you're 13 years old as a runaway in September of 17. And then October of 17, you ran away out of county. How far did he go? Do we know, Mr. Kroll?
We do not, sir.
Okay, all right. So, came back home New Year's Eve of 2017. He had assault family violence by a family member, was dropped by the victim. 3 months later, in March of 18, assault bodily injury, which was supervisory caution. You were let go on March 8th. You picked up another assault causing bodily injury. So there's 3 assaults that you're arrested for until now. Let's see. On May 3rd, about 10:20, Fort Worth PD was dispatched to domestic. Then Michael and Cassandra were in an argument, Cassandra being your sister. Cassandra said she was trying to protect her little brother as Michael's hit him in the past. When she was able to get the little brother away from him, Michael slapped her in the back of the head. Cassandra turned around and called Michael a bitch. Michael then slapped Cassandra with his left hand across the face, then tried to punch her, but she was able to push him and get him away. So what is the March 5th family violence case? Mr. Kroll?
March 5th, he had another incident with the sister. Mom was not at home. She was at work during that time.
Who was the victim on the 2017 family violence case?
2017, I believe, was the mother.
Mother. All right. Mom. this is not a kid I want to keep here. These are misdemeanors. But if he's going to always resort to violence as his solution to everything else, because what I'm seeing is allegations that he's hitting his little brother, he's hitting his sister, he's hitting you. Like, he's hitting also, there's non-family violence assaults. So he's got 2 other cases where there's assaults. Like, at this point, like, it's danger to himself to others. One day somebody's going to have a knife or a gun and just shoot him for doing what he does. So at this point, Michael, you've got to learn, you just can't hit people. That's not the world. That's not the world that we live in. All right, so I'm ordering you detained.
It's like that, and my hairstyle's just worthless now. She's gonna
Eric
leave.
Sanders. All right, Mr. Sanders, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. I'm here to make a decision whether to keep you in custody or to release you. If I keep you in custody, the law says you have to see a judge every 10 business days to make the same decision. Also, want to let you know you have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, I will provide one for you. You have the right to remain silent, but if you give up that right, nothing you say at the detention hearing can be used against you at any other type of court setting. So Mr. Sanders is here on a 10-day hearing. If I remember correctly, he was on probation for unlawfully carrying a weapon, which then while he's on probation was arrested for aggravated robbery on a determinate sentence, which he was placed on probation for a handgun. While he's on probation, he picks up an assault public servant in September of 19th, but the parties agreed to extend his probation out and not revoke him. And now April 29th, there was a new referral from the police report on April 12th. The victim was walking away from a convenience store, approached by 2 black males who started hitting him and knocking him to the ground, beat him, took his wallet, facial injuries, body injuries. They reviewed a surveillance video. One of the suspects was identified as Derek Sanders. The hoodie and shoes matched perfectly the one shown on the surveillance video of the robbery. Officers recognized his face and haircut, that he was the same one from the robbery. That was on April 12th, but on April 18th, 4th PD brought you in for evading arrest, conducting a robbery investigation for the April 12th robbery that I just talked about. Police returned to the area, saw 2 males that they thought were the actors in the robbery, and they ran away when they saw the police. Derek continued to run even after allegedly he heard the officer shout, "Stop, police." He jumped a fence, ran across the street, and he was caught, brought to Kimbo. There's a positive for marijuana. All right. Ms. Alonzo, he's on determined sentence probation. What's the length of probation? What's the sentence and length of probation?
His sentence will expire on 8/22/2023.
For how long?
I think he was on 10 years.
10 years. Okay.
You went on 10 years.
Or 8, sorry, I think it was 8 or 10. Let me double check.
I don't think it was 10.
Let me check, sorry. Let me check.
Yeah, Ms. Sanders, we'll find out.
Okay.
I want to say it's 10, but maybe 8. Sorry, it was 8-year determined sentence, 8 years.
8-year determined sentence. All right.
And Your Honor, the DA actually filed a petition on both charges today.
Okay, petition is filed. How old is he?
He's 14.
14?
Yes.
Here, let's just set this for a revocation. Let's say quickly, like within the next 2 weeks. Ms. Herrick, is that, I'm not even worried about the petition on the new offenses. He's on determinate sentence.
Okay.
There's a motion to modify filed on the aggravated robbery. Ms. Alonso?
Yes, hold on.
So, are you speaking to me, Art?
Yes, I just wondered, is there a motion to modify filed on the probation case?
No. They just filed a petition on the 2 new offenses, not the aggravated robbery.
Okay.
That chirp is next level. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Honestly, public safety departments and fire departments all over the world are trying to be able to outreach to the communities most underserved and most likely to unfortunately fucking die from a fire. And we've already figured out the little niche here. Send everybody that comes to court a fucking battery for their smoke detector. Seriously, it's shocking to me that they don't just do this already. But it is fucking annoying. I know Mikey will remember the case that was like 5+ hours long and there was multiple people with smoke detectors that were chirping. It was in my soul for days. I remember, just days. Also, hi, Chris. Welcome.
I know the court on its own can modify probation without a motion being filed. I don't know if there can be a commitment off of probation. I'm sorry? Yeah. I don't think so.
In order to commit him, you have to make those certain findings, and right now you don't have any evidence to make those findings. So
Right.
I think we have to have a hearing.
I think so too.
Are we getting a big D here? Big D with a chirpy?
Oh no, there's all kinds of issue notice and allegations and all that. All right, well.
Your Honor, he is hoping to be released today. He, at the time the offenses were alleged to occur, he was staying with an aunt that lives on a different side of town from his grandma. He's willing to go back to his grandma's house and be placed on an electronic monitor to keep him away from that part of town. So he is hoping to be released today.
Ms. Herrick, I mean, I get that. The problem is he's on probation for a gun offense, and then he commits a new gun offense, then commits a new assault offense against a public servant, and then now he's alleged for a robbery. I mean, in a way, he's de-escalating from a first-degree felony to a second-degree felony, but it's just not. There's a serious concern about the danger to the public on this one. I understand what you're saying, and yeah, some of it makes sense, but this is really making all the spidey senses tingling right now about the danger to himself and to others. So, Mr. Sanders.
I understand, Your Honor. I think Derek understands as well.
All right, Mr. Sanders, I'm detaining you at this point. All right, next, Melissa Soto. Ms. Herrick, your last one was Mr. Adler, so thank you for being here.
That is so familiar.
Welcome to watch if you want, otherwise you're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, yep, he did it to himself. I'm sorry. Oh God, this. He did it to himself.
Hello, Ms. Soto. I'm Judge Kim. The reason why we're here is the detention hearing. When a child is brought to our facility, you have to see a judge within 2 days after make a decision whether to keep you in custody or to release you. If I keep you in custody, the law says you have to see a judge every 10 business days to make the same decision. Also, let you know you have the right to remain silent, but if you give up that right, anything you say at a detention hearing cannot be used against you at any other type of court setting. Finally, you have a right to an attorney. If you or your family cannot afford an attorney, I will provide one for you. Okay, so May 3rd, about 9 o'clock, police were dispatched to 7-Eleven. Melissa locked herself in a bathroom at the gas station. So Melissa left the house without permission. Police told.
Okay, well, that's not what most people leave the house without permission to do. Like, oh, I'm gonna leave this house and go to the 7-Eleven and lock myself in the fucking bathroom? Okay, that's a little bit weird. And also, Mikey, clawed-blooded, cold too.
Father could come and get Melissa into his vehicle with the help of Derek, Melissa's brother-in-law. Police told Melissa if she hits, kicks, assaults any family member that she could be arrested. Dad tried to get her into the vehicle to take her home. Melissa kicked Dad in the stomach and chest repeatedly. He also kicked Derek in the stomach and scratched him on the wrist. Dad and Derek reported that it caused pain. Mom, Dad, tell me what's going on.
I'm her older sister, and this is my dad. He doesn't speak English very well, so he wants me to speak.
Sure.
It's been multiple times, just 2 nights before that night that she tried to leave the house. We did have police dispatch as well because she had a 20-year-old in the house that she snuck in while my dad was sleeping.
Is it her boyfriend?
No.
I'm sorry?
Is it her boyfriend?
We never know who's her boyfriend because it's always a different guy that she's bringing home or inviting over.
Fuck you, sister. What a fucking cunt of a sister thing to say. I'm sorry. Oh, wow. This is a parentified child, by the way. There's just no getting around that. That is a parentified child. This child, she may be an adult now, but she is parentified. Whether it be due to language differences or unsuccessful parenting, I don't know what it is, but that's unfortunately what somebody has put her in a position to do, which is sad because I guarantee their relationship, her and her sister's relationship down the road, is not going to be so great when she remembers this and remembers that even though maybe her parents have made her also her dad's wearing a fucking hat in court, dude. Go Cowboys, like take it off. But seriously, this is inappropriate, to be honest. If he needs a translator, he needs a translator, an official translator. He doesn't need her. Also, I didn't notice her translating shit. She didn't.
She has stolen money from all of us, stolen property as far as my AirPods, my debit card, my parents' jewelry to sell it to get marijuana. We have had her in therapy since she was in 6th grade. She's been admitted to Sundance and Excel, and she has also gone to court for not going to school. And
what was she in Sundance for?
This was in 6th grade. Whenever she went to Sundance, she was telling people to kill themselves, and she was saying that she was depressed and wanted to kill herself as well.
So what do we do?
Red flag
What was your
much?
name?
My name is Cassandra Soto.
Cassandra, okay. All right, Cassandra, what are we gonna do? I mean,
I honestly don't know. She has, I am 23 years old. She has my brother who's 21 years old. My husband, Derek, my father, my mother, she has the support of everybody. We've taken her, like I told you, since 6th grade to therapies nonstop, and she just keeps getting worse.
here's the thing. If she doesn't want your help or support, there's nothing you can do for her. I mean, it all starts with her.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she has no priors with this department. So, is there violence with Melissa and Derek or her dad at home?
Yes, she always lashes out at my parents. We actually have 2 younger siblings who are in the house with her. one being 6 years old and one just turned 5 years old. And they specifically have told us that they are scared of her because I even have pictures of her taking out a knife, saying that she was going to hurt us.
A picture of somebody holding a knife is not really evidence. Also, that's like double hearsay, triple hearsay with the other kids. Oh, I'm actually mostly aghast at the parentification of this child who seems to know about her sister's grade 6 onward counseling sessions, which again, not acceptable. And if there's a 5-year-old who just turned 5, where is the mother? Where is she? Did they say that?
Is Melissa a U.S. citizen?
Yes, she is. If I may also add, whenever the police arrested her, my dad, who is not a U.S. citizen, she tried to say that he was abusing her and raised false allegations on him.
Yeah. All right. Normally, Melissa, I would just let children go in this situation. You have no priors, and it seems like it was just one bad night, but it seems like there's a whole lot more going on here. Before I feel comfortable releasing you back, I want you to get to level 1L and hold her for 3 days, okay? If you can control your emotions, in order to get to level 1L, hold it for 72 hours. And at that point, if your family feels comfortable because they're talking with you and they're seeing a change in you, then I'm okay releasing you back home. But it's a 2-part test. One is you're going to have to prove to me in detention that you can follow the rules, so you can behave. The second part of the test is you have to use the phone calls as an opportunity to rebuild the bridges that you have started to destroy. Okay? You understand what I've said so far, Melissa? So I'm putting this on you. You can completely control the behavior levels in Kimbo. What you cannot control is how Derek and Cassandra and your siblings and your father, how they all feel, okay? If they can, because they know you far better than I do or the detention officers. If they, after talking to you, feel like that you've changed, that you're going to make progress and that you're not going to be a danger to other people or yourself, then, and they want you home, then I'm okay with you going home. Okay? Any questions for me?
No.
Okay. Cassandra, I don't want you to explain this to Dad right now, but you think he's going to be okay with this?
Yes.
Okay. I want her to go home. But if she comes home, it has to be in a safe environment for everyone, not just for her, but for you, for your husband, for everyone. Okay?
Yes.
All right.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Judge.
Your Honor, can
Yes,
you hear
Your
me?
Honor.
Your Honor, can you hear me?
I do.
I have a typo. Her release was actually on 4/14.
Who? I don't have it on the docket, but I have the packet here. It's just another detention hearing?
It's an out of custody, Your Honor.
Oh, we have 2 out of custodies. Okay.
Out of custody. What that means is these kids are out in the community right now. They're going to be, well, she doesn't look very out of custody at
Not
all.
this
She
one.
looks very in custody.
This is, I'd ask. Who is this?
Mary Angelise.
Mary Louise.
No, Mary Angelise.
Angelise. Okay.
Is my mom?
Mary Angelise Adorno.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, okay. So Mary Angelise, your attorney dropped off a form that's a waiver. I think he had you sign, right? Where he talked to you about it probably on the phone, saying we don't have to do a detention hearing. Do you remember having that conversation?
No.
Mr. Sierra didn't call you and say, do we want to have a detention hearing or can we just pass it?
Yeah, he did, but I never said I wanted to pass it. I just said that I didn't want him to proceed with the whole thing about me going home first before placement. But I did want to proceed with the detention hearing so I can know more information about what's going on.
Okay. All right, well, I'll tell you what, at this point, I don't have everything here because Mr. Sierra submitted a form saying that you don't wish to have a detention hearing today, okay?
Okay.
So what we can do is, you know what? We'll just set it for tomorrow, okay? So
Okay.
we'll have the detention hearing tomorrow, okay?
Okay, so you guys want to know more about my placement and stuff, right?
Your place, well, I don't know about that. If that's not ready, that's not ready. This is just
So-
about detention hearing, about whether to keep you until your placement or not.
Okay, I've been a level 1-0 for 2 weeks.
Good, thank you. Has it been hard? I heard there's been drama going on back there.
It's been kind of hard, but I just pulled it together and like I didn't get in trouble.
Yeah, keep out of it, right? Just keep to yourself. That's the best way to stay out of trouble. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Okay, so we're gonna tell your attorney to be here tomorrow and we'll have a detention hearing.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge Kim. We're not done yet, guys. Simon J, welcome. Hi. You're here for the second act. Give me one moment. Here's what we're gonna do. She does seem sweet. I don't doubt that she said, I want my fucking hearing. Anyways, give me 1 second while I pull up the next hearing for us. We're going to do another Judge Kim because that is the night that we are having, ladies and gentlemen. A Judge Kim Turn Back the Clocks Tuesday. If you're just getting here, go ahead and clock in for your shift by hitting that like button. It is very helpful to me. This hair looks worse that big, but that's okay. Maybe we'll do a new hairstyle for the next one. Should we watch the next day? Yeah, let's watch the next day. Okay. Well, we don't have it. Oh, do we? 2025, 2025. Oh, I'm glutton for punishment. Ugh. Oh, good. It's not as bad. Sometimes these look really long, but the reality is the judge doesn't show up for 40 minutes. Ugh. Oh, I'm not gonna like this. It's Judge Terry. I don't think I can handle a Judge Terry. You guys, I'm sorry. I could do a Judge Porter. I can't do a Judge Terry. I can't. She fucking rubs me the wrong way. I just can't do it. I'm sorry. Yeah. Judge Porter better than I deserve? Yeah, we can do that. I just can't do a Judge Terry tonight. I'm sorry.
Morning.
Judge Porter, our detention hearing is going to be on this code?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just making sure.
And y'all know we're going in reverse alphabetical order, right?
Reverse order, I got you. Yes, sir.
Yes. And are any of the kids under 14 today?
Let me look.
Normally I look that up as well, and I didn't have time to do it.
No, sir.
Everybody's over 14.
Right. We do have one Spanish-speaking child, Fox 2, Cardenas. She's Spanish-speaking. That's the only I have here.
Okay.
But Maria translates for her typically.
Okay.
Your Honor, she is also under the custody of the department, CPS, and I believe they're online.
Oh, yes.
Correct.
Yes, they are. Thank you, Ms. Rojas.
Welcome.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
There is not a parent for Woody.
For Woody?
Yes, Your Honor. There is not a parent for Woody.
All right,
named
thank
him
you.
Woody and then they didn't show up.
Her mom is going to be bouncing in and out of this hearing because she's at work.
Mom is going to be joining
She
by.
said- Yeah, she's got the code. She's at work. She'll try to be here, but she may not be here.
Okay, let me see if I can find her real quick.
I'm gonna text her real quick.
Okay.
I'm gonna text her. See, where I learned my Southern
I'll
speak
give her a
is
couple
here.
of minutes. And where's Mr. Adeniji?
Larry Beaver's here again. Yeah!
Her mom says she's ready.
Okay. She just needs to log in then, and I'll let her in. There we go. We're still waiting for Miss Woody's attorney, though.
Who's whispering? Again, this is the part we used to love. Poor Birdie.
Hey, Judge,
Always
it's
poor Birdie.
Frank. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I'll step in for him
Oh, okay.
so you don't have to wait.
Okay. Miss Woody, is that you appearing by iPhone?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
here.
Okay. All right, Ms. Woody, my name is Judge Porter. This is a detention hearing to determine if you should remain in detention or be released to a parent or guardian. You have the right to have this hearing recorded if you want. If that's the case, Mr. Adler, who's going to be your attorney for just this hearing, will let me know. Do you see Mr. Adler on the screen, Ms. Woody?
Yes, I see him.
Good morning.
Okay. Now you have the right to remain silent and not say anything at all. If there is something you want to say, please do not blurt it out. Instead, I want you to wave your hand like this to get my attention or your attorney's attention. And I will create a special internet chat room just for you.
Special internet chat room. I love you so much, Judge Porter. Oh, I used to spend a lot of time in special internet chat rooms, ladies and gentlemen. It's sort of what made me who I am, I would say.
You and your attorney to talk about what you want to say, okay? That way he can tell you whether or not you really should say it. Does that make sense? Okay. Mr. Spence, what brings Miss Woody to court this morning?
Your Honor, this is a 10-day detention hearing. She's pending a motion to modify for a VOCO technical for removing her ankle bracelet. That's set on 7/6/20. We resource staffed her on 3/9, and the recommendation was to transfer to the REACH program. You actually passed her hearing on 3/19 and ordered a placement search, which is currently being done. On 4/16, she was referred in on a DTA. She had removed her monitor again and ran from home. She was picked up at a Walmart in Dallas on 4/16/20 and transported to Dallas County. We transported her back over here. She has a forensic interview on Monday with Alliance for Children.
Okay. And what is her level in the back?
She is 3 acceptable. She's had 2 physical altercations this week. She attacked staff on Monday, and another day, her and 2 other girls jumped on 3 girls in the gym.
All right. Mrs. Woody, were you able to hear what Mr. Spence just said?
Yes.
Okay. It sounds like that she's still having some difficulty obeying the rules in the back. And really, I feel that until she's willing to demonstrate that she can obey the rules in the back, I can't be certain she'll obey your rules at home. Can you?
I'm 100% on board with you. Agreed.
All right. All right. Mr. Adler, what are your thoughts?
Judge, sometimes the facts are the facts.
All right. All right. Miss Woody, can you see me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Your levels are getting better, right?
Yeah.
I want you to keep working on that. Okay. You've got an appointment next week for an interview. Hold on. And I want you to cooperate during that interview. Okay.
All right.
But until then, you're going to have to stay in detention a little longer. You understand why, right?
Yeah, I understand.
All right. Okay. Say hi to your mom.
Hey, mama.
All
Hey,
right.
baby. I love you. Keep doing what you need to do, okay?
All right. So I got something to tell you, Judge Porter. So I just recently got put on a new medicine, and it's working very good for me. Like, I'm not having so yesterday I got put on it yesterday, and I haven't had no problem. So, by the time the next detention hearing come, I promise you I'll be great. I'll be great. But for now, I just gotta show you. That's why I'm not even mad because I know I was doing wrong.
All right. The medication sometimes it gets wonky. So someday you'll feel great and someday you'll feel not so great.
Mm-hmm.
When you have to talk to the doctor about your medication, I want you to tell the doctor everything that you're feeling. Tell him about all the great days and all the bad days. And that way we can make sure it's exactly right for you. Does that make sense?
All right.
All right, keep doing what you're doing.
Okay. Yeah, that's crazy.
3A.
Judge Porter is a whole different vibe, ladies and gentlemen. I think he is the vibe we need. Because how are we today? We're better than
All right. Mr. Adeniji, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Frank stepped in for you for the last one.
I appreciate that, Judge. Thanks, Frank.
Mr. Sparks, can you move your chair closer to the computer? How are you doing today?
Doing good.
All right. My name is Judge Porter. This is a detention hearing to determine whether you should remain in the back or be released to a parent or guardian.
Sure.
You have the right to have this hearing in front of Judge Kim. You also have the right to have this hearing recorded. If you want either of those things, your attorney, Mr. Adeniji, will let me know. Do you see Mr. Adeniji on the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You also have the right to remain silent and not say anything at all. If there is something you want to say, please do not blurt it out. Instead, what I want you to do is wave your hand like this.
Yes, sir.
That'll get my attention. That'll also get your attorney's attention. I'll create a special internet chat room just for the two of you to talk. That way he can tell you whether or not you really should say it. Does that make sense? Okay. I will also remind the parties that these hearings are being broadcast live on YouTube in compliance with the open courts provision of the Texas Constitution. Recording and/or rebroadcasting of this hearing is expressly prohibited by court order. Any violation of the court's order will subject the broadcaster or recorder to civil and/or criminal contempt. All right. Is Miss Blair here? There's Miss Blair. What brings Mr. Sparks back to court?
Your Honor, this is a 10-day. This is the one where Jalen and several other companions went for a joyride going at least 100 miles per hour, and they struck a pedestrian. Jalen was identified as the driver by the other individuals in the vehicle. He is also pending the following out of custody charges for terroristic threat and theft of property, $2,500 to $30K. And he's set for court on May the 28th at 9:30. He is on level 1 outstanding since April the 27th.
Do you have any prior referrals to the department?
He does. He back in July 2019, he's had evading arrest detention, which was supervisory caution, JPD. And he's also had unauthorized use of vehicle and ag robbery back in February of 2019, but that was dismissed by the DA. And he's also had assault caused bodily injury back in January of 2018, but that was supervisory caution as well.
So 3 alleged incidents involving vehicles, but he doesn't even have a driver's license yet, does he?
No.
Okay. What says the state? Mr. Williams.
Yes, Judge, there was a serious injury here. I was looking at the victim's report. It shows that one of the individuals had the legs, had a serious injury involving the legs. Also, there was a handgun in this stolen vehicle. Based on those facts, Judge, I believe he's a danger to the community and ask that he be detained.
Mr. Williams, is there any evidence that the firearm was used or exhibited during the commission of this offense?
Not the evading. It shows.
Okay, well then that doesn't necessarily make this a 3G offense, does it?
Not for the firearm.
Okay. Mr. Adeniji, what are your thoughts?
I'll be asking if the judge will let him go home with electronic monitoring. He's on level 1 outstanding, which is what the judge told him the last time we were here. To get it up to that level, and you will consider whether to release him or not.
All right, let me check something real quick. Mr. Williams, let's see. This occurred at 6:40, allegedly occurred at 6:40 at night, and the victim is in the hospital. Tell me about the extent of the victim's injuries.
Judge, I'm just reading from the PO report. It says that she had, or the victim had broken legs.
Talk to me. What's
Simon J, I'm jealous. Special chow mein, sweet and sour, and prawn balls, and egg fried rice with chicken with green peppers and black bean sauce. I would eat all of that. Oh, I want Chinese food so bad now. What the fuck?
What's going on? Why is Mr. Sparks driving anyway? He doesn't have a driver's license yet.
I guess it's better than mine. I could tell him all day long to stay from behind the vehicle. Don't do this, don't do that. He has a mind of his own.
So you're telling me if I were to release him today, he's not going to follow my rules and he's not going to follow your rules?
He said he will. He said he don't want to be here anymore. He learned his lesson. I don't know who he's been talking to in there. He's been talking to somebody as far as an adult figure. So somebody's getting his mind right.
Well, tell me more about this.
About this case?
No. About how the change in attitude you've seen.
I mean, since he's called on a regular, every day he calls, he has the same story. He wants to hear feedback on what you guys have to say, if anything, but I don't know what he's doing in there as productive or constructive to persuade me. I'm just going by what he's saying. He's gonna change the company he keep, and it's a wrap, and he don't want to be affiliated with no one, or getting back in school. Counselor dropped his laptop off yesterday and wished him the best of luck. She had good words for him. Of course, it's not on paper. I couldn't use that in his, interest, but I'm just a mother with faith in her son.
Crab rangoon. I've never had that. That's something that's in America that isn't in Canada. But maybe I should go for Chinese. Should I go for Chinese food when I'm in Florida? That sounds crazy, but being that I live in like the Asian immigration capital of North America, I believe, or within miles of it. Fuck. I would really, really go for some beef. What did you call them? Beef sticks? Beef sticks? Beef sticks. One of my favorite things to get from the Chinese restaurant is green beans in black bean sauce with beef and chicken fried rice and chop suey vegetables. Oh, and wonton soup, obviously. Wonton soup must be had by me. Also, I make wonton soup really well. That was the first ever YouTube video I ever filmed on my personal channel, was me making wonton soup. I love making wonton soup.
I'm hoping for the best. You ought to be tired. And
You understand, this is really scary, because if the police report is correct, he put somebody in the hospital with broken legs. That just takes this to a whole new level. And this is not his first time. Hold on just a second, Mr. Sparks. I see you. This is not the first. This is not the first time he's driving without a license, right?
Correct.
And each time it's getting scarier and scarier, right?
It's a scary period to me. I know he's not licensed old enough to be driving.
He put somebody in the hospital. Is 2 weeks in detention enough for him to have learned his lesson?
Yeah, as far as I was told with this case, I was told he wasn't the driver, but hearing this now, I'm knowing different. It's the company you keep. You got to change the company you keep. You don't need friends. You can stay at home. You got to mind your own.
Judge, it looks like some people in the detention center are doing a good job. Seems to have got into his mind.
Miss Blair, when did he get on level 1-0?
On April the 27th, this week, this Monday.
Okay. And Miss Blair, do you know during his past trips to Kenbo how much time he spent in detention before being released on each of those previous cases?
I think this is his first time being at Kenbo. The other ones were out of custodies. Let me double check. Hold on 1 second.
And he was positive for marijuana when he came in?
Yes.
Mom, where's he getting the drugs?
Off the street. But he's in a recovery class with MHMR. Well, he was. He hasn't been able to attend none of the meetings because he's there with you guys. But
yeah, but
Judge Porter.
Yes, ma'am.
On the priors,
Hi, Dana. Thanks for dropping in before bed. I'm glad to hear it. Please make sure you've clocked in for your shift. We're talking about Chinese food in the chat, and we are juvenile court in court.
He, in 2019, he was in there for 16 days, and then, yeah, Yeah, just 16 days. And then he came back in, that was in February. And then he came back in March and he stayed for a day.
Okay. So this come to Jesus is a little late. Okay, Mr. Sparks. I'm not
Peru. What
convinced
dish
that you're a
did you have
changed
there,
person
Dana?
yet. I want you to maintain level 1.0 for the next 2 weeks. And if you maintain level 1.0 consistently for the next 2 weeks, then it's going to be real.
Mike, you have someone in your life who appreciates tempura, zucchini, broccoli, and cauliflower. C'est moi.
Hard for me to tell you that you can't go home next time, okay? But you've been in your last trip through here was 16 days. That didn't change your behavior, okay? So it's got to be longer this time for you to convince me that you can change, okay? All right, but I think if I were to release you right now, you'd be a danger to the community. And so I'm going to order that you be detained. That'll be the order of the court. Thank you.
Will he be able to call today?
You call him? Yeah.
Making you guys smile, that's my job.
Judge, that's all I have on the list.
Well, thank you for all your help, Mr. Adeniji. We will see you next week.
Thank you, Judge.
Make sure you speak clear.
All right. Is the correct way to pronounce your last name Hobdy?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Hobdy, my name is Judge Porter. This is the detention hearing to determine if you should be released or be ordered to remain back in juvenile. You have the right to an attorney, and Mr. Adler is your attorney. Do you see him on the screen?
Yes.
Okay. You have the right to have this hearing recorded, and if you want that, Mr. Adler will let me know. You also have the right to remain silent.
RLS, yes. Tonight I was actually asked to make Korean bibimbap. I've made that on stream, I think 2 or 3 times on the old channel. I do like some Korean food. It is definitely a fermented taste that you're really going to have to get used to. Vietnamese pho is good as well. But I really like, I have gochujang in the fridge on hand, and it is a delicious little treat. I love kimchi. Oh fuck yeah. I like fermented tastes like that. Korean K-pop. No, I don't listen to K-pop. I just eat the bibimbap. Pad Thai is good too. I like most Asian foods. Let's just be honest. Kimchi fried rice is a fucking delightful treat. Courtney, have you watched The Korean Englishman? Because that's a little joy of mine, the Korean Englishman channel. It's like this guy who lived in Korea, but he's English, and he introduces everyone to Korean sort of foods. And he does an interview with Ryan Reynolds, and he does one with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and then he does one with David Beckham. And those, yeah, it's on YouTube, and they are my 3 favorite. If you look up Korean Englishman, and whichever of those 3 people is your favorite, start with that episode. So fucking funny. Also, it'll make you hungry because it's about Korean food, and every time I get hungry. Damn it. Now I'm hungry.
Not say anything at all. If there's something you want to say, please do not blurt it out. Instead, what I want you to do is wave your hand like this, okay? I'll create a special internet chat room just for you and your attorney to talk about what you want to talk about. That way he can tell you whether or not you really should say it. Does that make sense? Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Paxton, there you are. What brings Mr. Hobdy to court today?
Your Honor, he is a companion of the previous kid, Jalen Sparks. He was identified as the back left passenger in that vehicle. He was also One of the other companions stated that he and Dayron stole the vehicle earlier in that day. So, but he's only charged with evading arrest.
All right. Mr. Williams, you previously told me that there was a gun found in this car. Where was that gun located?
Judge, I believe the report says it was, I believe it was, I think it was in the back seat.
Uh-huh. Where in the back seat?
I don't know if we can link that gun to Mr. Hobdy, but it was a gun involved in there. But I'm not sure if there was no mention that he possessed it at any time.
All right. Well, I appreciate your candor, Mr. Williams.
Ketchups are delicious. I love them so much. I'm going to check and see if I have some. I doubt that I do. I really doubt it. We'll see.
Mr. Adler, what are your thoughts?
Judge, do we have a family member there?
I believe, let's see. Are you Ms. Hobdy?
I am.
All right. And how are you related to Mr. Hobdy?
I'm his mother.
Okay. Mr. Adler.
Can I ask the mother some questions, Judge, please?
You bet.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Thanks for coming. First of all, is it your desire for your son to go home?
It is.
And do you work?
I do.
So if the judge releases him, what type of supervision would he have at home?
My husband's home. He works overnight. He's home during the day. I work during the day and I'm home overnight.
And you can assure Judge Porter that at our next court hearing, whether it's via Zoom or however that may be, you will come to court with him if he's sent home?
I will, yes, sir.
Ma'am, how does he behave at home other than this kind of serious offense that we're talking about?
Previously, he was sneaking out of the house overnight while I was in there sleeping, getting ready for work the next morning. I will wake up and he's gone from the house.
And what do you think has changed now?
I really can't assure you anything has changed. I was, by him being incarcerated for 2 weeks, hopefully, he sees how things are and he'll get his act together and straighten up.
Is he respectful to you and your husband, to his dad?
Yes.
And so would you be asking for the electronic monitor and for him to be basically on lockdown at home?
Yes.
Okay. No further questions, Judge. I'll pass the witness.
Mr. Williams, do you have any questions?
No, I do not, Judge.
All right. Mr. Adler, what are your thoughts?
Judge, I'd ask you to defer to the mom's wishes, give him a chance at home on the electronic monitor. And I haven't received a petition on this case yet. I see that what the referral is gonna be, but I don't think I've received the petition. So I just ask that he be released to go home.
Ms. Paxton, this is.
I've had an Italian potato pizza in Italy, but I don't think I've ever had an Italian seafood pizza. What's on it, Jody? Yeah, and I'll try it. We should try it. We should have a pizza night one night where we all get pizza and then eat pizza at the same time and we can all be like, we're eating pizza. Oh, I just put some hot sauce on something. I love hot sauce. I am literally such a masochist.
This is his first official referral.
He was referred back in December of 2019 for failure to ID, and that was supervisory caution by the department.
Okay. Ms. Hobdy, I am going to order that he be released to you.
Okay.
2 things. First, it's your responsibility to make sure he gets back to court. If he doesn't come back to court, I'll issue a warrant for his arrest. You understand that?
I do, yes, sir.
The second bad thing concerns you. If he doesn't come back to court when he's supposed to, I could issue an order that results in you being taken to the Tarrant County Jail. Now, knowing that he could cause you to go to the Tarrant County Jail, Knowing that there's a history of sneaking out at night, not obeying your rules, are you still willing to take a chance on him? Are you willing to go to jail for him?
I'm not willing to go to jail for him, but however, I do think he have learned his lesson and he's not going to sneak out. I can assure you that.
All right, but you're aware of the consequences, right?
I am.
Mr. Hobby,
Yes.
are you going to be back in court when you're supposed to be?
Yes, sir.
You going to obey your mother's rules?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You got to level 1-0 in the back. This is your first time. I expect you to maintain at level 1-0 at home. You got that?
Yes, sir.
Mom, if he doesn't obey and if he doesn't maintain level 1-0 at home, you give Miss Paxton a call and we will address the issue. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Hobby, your mom and I are on the same team. So you can either fight us or you can either cooperate. Totally up to you. But things become a little bit more difficult for you if you fight us, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right. That's going to be the order of the court.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Adler.
Thank you.
All right. Where's Mr. Hall? Aw.
Your Honor, if this is for Mr. Gunn, it looks like that's a waiver.
It is, and I'm disappointed.
Can't help you there, Judge.
I like Mr. Gunn.
Costco does have good pesto. If you buy too much pesto and don't know what to do with it, what you can do, guys, is freeze it in the in a large Ziploc bag, lay it flat so that it doesn't take up a lot of space. So you lay it down and freeze it flat. And as it's almost freezing, you sort of put in like lines into it, and then you can break it off as you need, just a few cubes. It's very helpful. So usually I'll use like 1/2 of the container I get from Costco and then freeze the other half like that in, or just a few Ziploc bags.
Mr. Gunn, he's not a bad kid. He just does bad things.
Yes.
Judge Porter, was that last release on an ankle monitor?
Yes, ma'am. And I've already signed the paperwork for it.
Yes, sir.
Are you Miss Ferrand?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
All right. And did I pronounce the name correctly?
Yes, you did.
Okay. Just for a little bit, I'm going to put your microphone on mute so that I can talk to the child directly, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I'll also address you as Miss Ferrand. Is that okay?
Okay.
All right. This is a detention hearing to determine if you should remain in detention or be released. My name is Judge Porter. You have the right to have this hearing in front of Judge Kim. You also have the right to have this hearing recorded if you want either of those things. Mr. Adler, your attorney, will let me know. Do you see Mr. Adler on the screen? Okay, is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay, I need you to talk out loud for me, okay? You have the right to remain silent and not say anything at all. If there's something you want to say, please do not blurt it out. Instead, what I want you to do is wave your hand like this. Got it? That'll let me know you want to say something. I'll create a special internet chat.
Oh, thank you, Judge, for creating a special internet chat room just for me to say thank you to Simon J. I appreciate that. I think I look pretty good tonight, too.
Chat room just for you and your attorney to talk about what you want to say. That way he can advise you on whether or not you really should say it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. Miss Paxton.
Yes.
What brings Miss Ferrand to court today?
Ms. Ferrand is pending court for two separate offenses. She was brought in on March 20th for failure to ID engaging several juvenile subjects took items from racetrack at 3 in the morning. They attempted to purchase tobacco. Officers observed 4 teens walking 2 miles from racetrack, believed they were involved in the theft. All 4 were detained, and Janiyah was identified as one of the teens. Camera footage also showed this items, suspects taking items. She had a pending offense at the time from March 6th. She was referred out of custody for theft of property, 100 to 750. There was a disturbance. Call details advised a Black female wearing a white sweater had taken the victim's cell phone and cash out of her purse outside of Family Dollar. Victim's husband chased Janiyah but was unable to make contact, but he had taken a picture of her, provided it to officers, informing them that she's a student at North Crowley High. They identified her at the school. She was released on EM on March 20th for Judge Kim. On April 16th, mother reported that Janiyah.
Actually, I'm so hungry. I'm making toast because I don't have Chinese food right now. So I have to make toast. And that was my face just like remembering that I got to go get the toast.
Attempted to cut off her EM with pliers, left the home without permission. DTA was issued at that time. Janiyah is currently on a level 3. On April 27th, she was involved in a pretty big altercation in the gym with 3 other female residents. She was placed on confined and secluded status after she continued to threaten staff and peers.
Oh, Ms. Ferrand.
Yes, sir.
You heard what Ms. Paxton just had to say? Did you hear what Ms. Paxton said?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Mom, you heard what Ms. Paxton had to say, correct?
Yes, sir, I did.
Does any of that surprise you?
No, sir, not at all.
Given that she's been in fights in the back, allegedly, do you think she's ready to come home yet?
No, sir, I don't.
Okay. Mr. Adler, what are your thoughts?
Well, Judge, just based on the mom's statement, and I did talk to her. I talked to my client last night, so she kind of knows what's going on. So we're just going to defer to the mom's wishes at this time.
All right, Ms. Ferrand.
Yes, sir.
All right, Janiyah.
Yes.
In order for me to consider you for release, what has to happen?
I have to be on a level 1.
Okay, and why is that? Because if you can prove that you can behave in the back, then it gives us a reason to believe that you can behave at home, right?
Yes, sir.
Have you proven that to me yet?
No, sir.
What should happen?
I should get detained.
All right.
Me, Lisa.
I want to say this, though, in your favor. Last time you...
I'm further west to you, or further west, I think, than almost anybody. Also, like I live on the ocean, on the Pacific Ocean. I live in the Pacific Ocean on an island. No, but seriously, until next week, actually, till the end of this week. I'm so excited. That's my suitcase. That's my suitcase.
You had a hearing in front of me. It didn't go too well, did it?
Yeah.
You left kind of mad, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
But today you've had a much better attitude, and I appreciate that, okay?
Yes, sir.
So I mean that sincerely. I appreciate that, okay? So you're on the right track. You know what you need to do, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's going to be the order of court.
Thanks, Judge.
Thank you.
No, and I can't show some of
I
the
believe
things that are in
Mr.
that
Beaver
suitcase.
is next. Ariana Cardenas?
Oh, Ariana.
Yeah. Mr. Beaver is the attorney.
Your Honor, there's not a parent
for this next client.
All right, thank you so much.
Good morning, Your
Reminder
Honor.
to check out the link.
Good morning, Mr. Beaver. I'm going to ask you to start your video for me.
Hey. Yeah, Judge, tell me about it. This is a problem I have with Larry Beaver all the time. Fucking late, showing up and, you know, whatever. Anyways, guys, go ahead and make sure that if you want to see what's in my suitcase, you check out the link tree. Scroll to the bottom where the adults only 18 plus area is. Check that out. Also a great way that you can support the channel since YouTube Daddy won't pay me anymore. How do I pack for 3 weeks? You know, I think what you do is you pack for 1 and then you deal with it. Because whenever I know, look at Larry Beaver's face. Seriously. But whenever I pack for 1 week, I pack for 3. Like, let's be realistic. So I think we're going to be okay. I'll pack for 1 week. I don't wear panties, so I don't have any issue there. There's no underwear to wash. Yeah. I have a lot of clothes. I mean, honestly, I rarely repeat. I do repeat my outfits, but I have done a lot of streams in different outfits. I got a lot of clothes. Y'all know I'm always, that's why I gotta be careful. Like when I was bending over there, I was, "Jeez, you gotta be careful, girl."
There you are. Okay. Are you Ariana Cardenas?
Yeah.
And Miss Rojas?
A cautionary tale. Larry Beaver has fallen so far. Stay off drugs, kids.
Does she
Yes.
speak English and Spanish or just Spanish?
It's primarily Spanish.
Okay. Mr. Williams, do you speak Spanish at all?
No, Judge.
Okay, then I'm going to ask Ms. Rojas and Mr. Beaver if they will help translate for everybody.
You
Ariana,
telling me Larry Beaver can translate and I've been doing all these translator cases by myself? We got Larry Beaver, Larry fucking Beaver.
my name is Judge Porter.
Me llamo Judge Porter. I know that one. First time ever.
Él es el juez Porter.
Oh, mucho gusto.
What? That's not what I thought it would be. Now I just feel stupid.
Gracias.
Nice to meet you.
This is a detention hearing
Esta es una audiencia de detención
to determine whether you should remain in detention or be released to a parent or guardian.
para determinar si puedes irte a tu casa con uno de tus padres o si te puedes ser detenida, mantener detenida.
You have the right to remain silent and say nothing.
Tienes derecho a mantenerte callada y decir nada.
If you want to say anything, please do not yell it out.
Si quieres decir algo, por favor, no lo grites.
Instead, wave your hand like this.
En vez, señala con tu mano.
And I will create a special internet chat room.
Y él puede crear otro cuarto
for you and your attorney to talk.
Para que tú y tu abogado puedan comunicarse uno con otro.
Good night, my friend Courtney, baby boo boo. Thank you for coming. Go to sleep. I can't believe soon I'll be in the same state as you. I'm so excited. Thanks for being here, love. Have a good night.
Y nosotros estar presentes.
And that way, he can tell you whether or not you should say it.
Y de esa manera, él te puede dar a conocer si puedes decir lo que tienes que decir.
Your attorney is Larry Beaver.
Tu abogado es Larry Beaver.
Do you see him on the screen?
¿Sí lo miras en la pantalla?
No, pero sí lo conozco.
No, but she does know who he is.
Okay. Keep looking. I want you to look until you see him.
Trata de ver a ver si lo puedes ver quién es. Él está señalando con la mano, tu abogado. ¿Sí lo puedes ver en la pantalla?
He has glasses.
¿Tiene lentes?
Yeah, pero no lo veo.
You can't hear him? ¿No puedes oír al abogado?
No.
Pues no estoy hablando.
Oh, ya está hablando ahorita. Ya lo oíste si lo miraste, ¿verdad? Okay, she can hear him and she can see him now.
Okay. Okay. Ms. Rojas, what brings Ms. Cardenas to court today?
Okay. Le voy a explicar al juez por qué razón estás aquí, okay, Ariana? Okay. I'm letting
And
her
Ms.
know that.
Rojas, if you want to explain everything in Spanish first and then come back, that's fine.
I just told her that I'm going to tell you exactly the reason why she's was referred into our facility.
Okay.
She was referred initially on the 31st of March for a family violence assault caused bodily injury. The victim is the mother. According to the offense report, there was a domestic disturbance at the family home. Once they arrived, Ariana was outside. The police report indicated that Ariana was a frequent runaway and narcotic user, so they were familiar with her. They made contact with mom, and she indicated that Ariana came home late that night. She woke up in a bad mood, walked out of her room and into mother's. She began being disrespectful and using profanity towards the mother. She pushed the baby's bassinet out of the way. Mother then picked up the baby, gave the baby to her husband. Ariana came up to mother in an aggressive manner, and she pulled mother to the ground by her hair, causing mother to hit her head, elbow, and hip on the wood floor. The stepfather was able to pull Ariana away from mom. After everything, they separated, everything seemed to calm down, but a short time later, Ariana went outside and started throwing bricks at the mother's car. This is when the police was called. She was arrested for that incident, brought over to our juvenile detention center. She was initially ordered detained until we had a forensic exam completed. And she was also supposed to get a hair follicle test completed. She had those two things completed. At the next 10-day detention hearing, by that time, CPS became involved, and they have taken custody of her. So they asked at the last detention hearing if she could be detained until a placement could be found for her. And so far, I was told by the CPS worker yesterday that OKOC located a placement for Ariana, but that they still needed some time to get her to that placement. And I asked her to be on the line today to
All
explain.
right.
And that's Miss Jessie Davis.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yes.
So I heard from the OCOK worker this morning, and she said that they want to put her at Camp Worth in Fort Worth, and they won't be able to take her until May 6th.
Okay. Ms. Rojas,
Yes.
does Ms. Cardenas have a parent or guardian here today?
No, Your Honor. And I did speak with mother, and because she has younger children in the home, she wasn't able to be here. She is fully aware of everything that's going on with Ariana. We've also had contact with the district attorney's office. And so basically at this point, we're on hold until CPS is able to place her.
Okay. Mr. Beaver, what are your thoughts?
Your Honor, I've been in contact with Ms. Rojas, with Ms. Smith from the DA's office, with my client, and as well as with the mother. And I believe that everybody's on the same page with respect to this. It's my understanding that Ms. Cardenas would be able to be received at the Worth facility next week.
You guys mean Larry Beaver, the furry version? I was like, I thought you were gonna be happy when I procured the Larry Beaver up here on the screen. I don't have the other Larry here. I told you he's at rehab. We have the PNG embodiment of him right here on the screen.
And I know that's what the mother wants. I know that my client wants to be released as soon as possible. I know that she's been on the acceptable level, I think, since she arrived. And she wants to move on. And I've been in contact with Ms. Smith, so I think that we have an agreement reached once Ms. Cardenas is released and taken into the rehabilitation center.
All right. Ms.
Can I
Cardenas.
explain a little bit to Ariana what everybody's saying? Okay. El Departamento de Niños y Familia dicen que ya encontraron un lugar para que te puedas ir, okay? Pero no te pueden tomar hasta mayo 6, okay? El abogado está diciendo que todos hemos llegado a un acuerdo, solamente lo que estamos esperando es el día que te puedas ir a ese lugar de tratamiento, okay? Él está dándole a conocer al juez que tú te quieres ir a la casa, y todos estamos esperando el lugar de tratamiento que te pueda recibir. ¿Ok? ¿Entendiste todo? Okay.
Thanks, Beverly. Love you so much. See you tomorrow. Also, I just had a flashback. Remember when I used to, every time I would leave, I would put Larry Beaver in my spot like this. I'd be like, oh, I'll be right back. And then Larry would just be, but we had all different kinds of Larrys. Sad. Remember the Larrys like that were, I know. Anyways, I'm gonna grab something here, aka roll a joint. So Larry, could you stand here, please? Also, hit the fucking play button, bitch.
Okay, Your Honor.
That's okay. All right, then, Ms. Cardenas, I will order that you remain in detention.
Va a ordenar que te mantengas detenido en el centro de detención.
But hopefully everything works out next week.
Ojalá todo se pueda arreglar para la próxima semana.
And we will review all this next week.
Y vamos a revisar todo para la semana próxima.
Is that good, Mr. Beaver?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, y'all.
Thank you. Gracias, Ariana.
Suerte a ti. Buena suerte a ti.
Ya, gracias.
De nada.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Haas. Are you Miss Brunson?
Yes, sir.
Okay. My name is Judge Porter. This is the detention hearing to determine if you should remain in detention or be released to a parent or guardian. You have the right to remain silent and not say anything at all. If there's something you want to say, please do not blurt it out. Instead, what I want you to do is wave your hand like this. That'll get my attention, and it'll also get your attorney's attention. Mr. Beaver, do you see Mr. Beaver on the screen?
Yes.
Okay. So if there's something you want to say, I'll create a private internet chat room for the two of y'all to talk. That way he can advise you on whether or not you really should say it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Turner-Hill, what brings Ms. Brunson to court today?
Sarah was referred in custody by the Ford Police Department for the offense of assault caused bodily injury against a family member. According to the police report, officers were dispatched to a residence at about 2 o'clock in the morning in reference to a disturbance. Officers spoke with the victim and witnesses who advised Sarah had been placed with the family through CPS since September 2019. During an argument, Sarah allegedly assaulted Mary, who is the mother of the home. Mary's husband, Gregory, who's the victim, intervened to defend Mary. During the physical altercation, Sarah reported Gregory pushed her against a brick wall, causing her to hit her head. Sarah then used her cell phone to defend herself and struck Gregory several times in the head until he let go of her. Sarah felt Gregory was going to assault her again, so she put her leg up to push him away. Gregory advised that Sarah punched him approximately 2 times in the head, 1 time in the stomach, and kicked him 1 time in the left side of his ribs. Officers did observe visible injuries to Gregory, and he was transported to the hospital by MedStar to determine if his ribs were broken. Based on the information from Mary, who did not wish to press charges, and other witnesses at the scene, it was determined that Sarah was the aggressor, and Mary and Gregory were acting in, I guess, loco parentis over Sarah, who had been placed in the home by CPS. So Sarah was arrested and transported to our department. She has one prior referral from December 2019, which was a runaway from Ada County. And her CPS worker from Tarrant County, Miss Tiffany, is on the line, and also Miss Gamble, who is the supervisor in Kaufman County, are also on the line for today's hearing. And I believe that's biological mom who's in the courtroom.
Okay.
This is Katie.
Okay, just a second, Ms. Gamble. Mr. Williams, what are your thoughts?
Judge, this appears to be a pretty violent offense with these, I guess, some type of place with a home that she's being placed in. We would ask that she would be detained for their safety.
Mr. Beaver?
I'm sorry, I'm not sure if my client wanted to have a breakout with me first or.
Okay. Ms. Brunson, did you want to talk privately with your attorney? Okay, give me just a second. All right, Ms. Brunson, if you will go down to the bottom of the computer screen.
Me?
No.
Sarah,
if you'll go down to the bottom of the computer screen, there should be a more button. Okay. And Mr. Beaver, if you can go down to the bottom of your computer screen, there should be a more button or a breakout room that pops up, and you should be able to go in there.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I don't see either.
Okay, go down towards the bottom of your screen with your mouse.
Okay.
And then some options should pop up on the screen, and maybe either a more button or a breakout room button.
Okay, Your Honor, I think I'm in it now. Thank you.
You're not. If you're here, you're not. Also, what did I miss? Larry Beaver's not in a breakout room either. What is going on?
He's got 2 feeds going.
And this, folks, is why they don't allow breakout rooms in most court places. Exclamation mark Discord. I believe it'll pop it up. Tell me I saw Dexter. Yeah, I saw Dexter's lab. Oh, you saw my beer? Uh-oh. Oh, you mean Larry. I was like, oh my God, did my dress fly up? Shoot. I'll fast forward here. Mom's shaking her hand like, Mom, you're not gonna no. Shut up.
Your Honor. Well, Your Honor, I think we're back.
All right. What are your thoughts, Mr. Beaver?
Well, Your Honor, my client is just concerned about the timeline as far as when she was placed with the Gregory and Mary. And also, I'm not sure if this is an option, but if it is an option and if Ms. Brunson is willing, the mother, Ms. Brunson, is willing and able to have Sarah return home. I know that's what my client would like.
I believe Ms. Brunson, the parent mom, wants to say something. So if you wanted to ask her some questions, Mr. Beaver.
So yes, please. So Ms.
You, the attorney, may I speak with you for a moment?
I beg your pardon?
May I speak with you?
Are you saying you want to be in a breakout room with me?
Yeah. Is that possible?
I don't know that that's an option.
Okay. It's fine either way. Okay, first, where Sarah was, where the altercation happened, they do not have any kind of, she wasn't placed with them. Like, she wasn't placed with them, first and foremost. And then next, that is not the first time that that man has put his hands on my kid. I mean, he's an alcoholic.
Ma'am, wait, ma'am. We're not here to determine the underlying reason for detention. We're here to determine whether she should remain in custody. We're not here to determine the incident.
I did bring her friend, which was there and witnessed everything, and she's willing to vouch for Sarah and let it be known that she was only defending herself.
That's not the purpose of this hearing, ma'am. The purpose of this hearing is just to determine whether Sarah should remain in detention or be released. We're not going to determine
I misunderstand. I'm just confused. I've never done.
That's okay. That's okay. Miss Brunson, so are you telling the court that you would like Sarah to go home with you?
Yes.
Okay. And you're willing and able to take responsibility for her to make sure that she follows the rules of your home?
Yes. I mean, that's been the whole go all along, but you know, it's like, therefore, you know, at first I didn't have anywhere to let, you know, for her to have a room in the beginning. And that was the whole reason why she hasn't been with me. And, you know, because if I can't put myself in a room, then how am I going to put my kids in a room? You see what I'm saying? And now that I have that all together and ready, then that's fine. I'm ready for her to come home and get back on track. I mean, she needs to be on track and be back in school and get everything going the way it's supposed to be for her, for the better of her.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Brunson. So, Your Honor, based upon Ms. Brunson, the mother's testimony, we would request that Sarah be released to her custody.
All right. I believe Ms. Tiffany and Ms. Gamble are here on behalf of CPS and OCOK. My first question, is this a CPS case out of the 323rd? Ms. Gamble, Ms. Tiffany?
Yes, Your Honor. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, this is Ms. Gamble.
Is this a CPS case out of the 323rd?
No.
Okay. And were you able to hear what the parent was saying?
Yes.
And what are your thoughts?
Well, the department's biggest worry right now is Sarah's, she's not staying put anywhere she goes. She keeps running away. And so when she runs away, she ends up in bad situations. And so we would love nothing more to get her somewhere where she will stay stable and who can meet her needs. But that's not happening. In fact, the last time we had contact with Sarah before she ran to this Fort Worth place, we asked her if this was where she was going to be. Are you going to stay here? And she said, yes, I'm going to stay. And then she ran away again. And so that's our biggest concern right now, that she's going to get herself into a situation where she's significantly harmed.
Has the department, does the department have any concerns about Sarah being released to her biological mother?
Well, I mean, mom has some history with the department, for sure. I think it would definitely be worth exploring, for sure, as long as Sarah will stay there.
I mean, my CPS history it's been years and years ago.
Ma'am, this is not a free for all. Okay, we're going to go in an orderly fashion. Okay.
Your Honor, it appears that Ms. Brunson, the mother, is able to provide a stable home environment right now. According to the offense history, I don't see prior interactions except for the runaway. And if an electronic monitor could be used, that could help ease some of the concerns of CPS in the court, I believe.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Okay, here's my problem is we obviously have CPS involved, and we've obviously had a removal from her biological home, and that's been determined by a court of competent jurisdiction, correct?
Yes, there was a removal, Your Honor. I cannot remember without going back and looking which court it was out of and when it was, but it was a while ago.
This Larry Beaver right here inspired the Larry Beaver for the channel, William.
Okay, and so if I were to release Sarah to her biological mother, am I not undermining that prior court's order at this time?
Currently, the person who has permanent managing conservatorship of the child is Connie Brunson, and I believe it's either her great grandmother or her grandmother. So yes, her mother does not have legal custody of her.
Okay. Do you understand my dilemma, Mr. Beaver?
Yes, Your Honor, and without my having those current orders from the other court, then I would have to defer to the court.
If I didn't have to worry about this other judge's order out there, I would be inclined to release you, Sarah, to your biological mother. However, there is this other judge's order out there, and I cannot undermine what another judge has determined without a copy of that order in front of me and without some leeway. And I just don't have that in front of me right now.
When my grandmother contacted me yesterday, she said that she had given my biological mother back temporary guardianship until I was of age. That way I could be put in school, taken to doctors back and forth whenever I needed it. And that when she was supposed to be here today, that she had that paper in hand, that she had that to show, that way I could be released to her.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I want you to get to level 1-0, Sarah, and they've explained to you what the levels mean in the back, correct? Okay. Sarah? Okay. Sarah, I need you to look at me. There are different levels of behavior in the back. You came in yesterday, you're at a 2 right now. I need you to get to level 1-0, okay?
Still don't know what that is.
Okay. 3 is the very worst behavior, and 1 is the very best behavior.
My mother should have the paper. Why can't I just be released to her?
Okay.
What I did was in self-defense because he choked me.
It's number 1.
Okay. At this time, I don't have a parent or guardian to whom I can release her based on the information provided to me. And so I'm going to have to order that she be detained. That's going to be the order of the court. Thank you, Mr. Beaver.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You guys, she just flipped the table. Did you see? Let's go back and look. She flips the fucking laptop. Oh dear. Yeah, she's a 3 now. That's
Ron,
right.
I don't know if we lost connection with the, okay, there we go. Good.
I apparently she
Okay.
was not happy with the way things ended. Are you Mr. Allen?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Allen, my name is Judge Porter. This is a detention hearing to determine if you should remain in detention or be released to a parent or guardian. You have the right to have this hearing recorded. You also have the right to have this hearing in front of Judge Kim if you want either of those things. Mr. Beaver, your attorney will let me know. Do you see Mr. Beaver on the screen?
Yes, sir.
He's waving his hand. All right, you also have the right to remain silent, not say anything at all. If there's something you want to say, please do not blurt it out. Instead, what I want you to do is wave your hand like this. I'll create a private internet chat room just for you and your attorney to talk about what you want to say. That way he can tell you whether or not you really should say it. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Dotson, what brings Mr. Allen to court today?
Well, Your Honor, Mr. Allen was referred in custody on April 17th for the offense of evading arrest detention. He is the third co-companion in the case we were speaking of earlier, where the high-speed chase and the victim and handgun and the car is being stolen. He has no prior history with our department. He is on level 1, been on level 1 since the 23rd of April. Even though he came in on 17th, tested positive marijuana, he says that he's not a serious marijuana user, casual user, so I had him tested for levels last night, and he did actually come out negative after 2 weeks in detention. And Mom is present in the courtroom.
All right, Mom, what are your thoughts?
I miss my baby. I hope this has been a lesson for him.
Where's he getting the marijuana?
Ask him.
Well, I'm asking you.
I have no clue. I'm a mother of 8 kids. I work. So where he gets his marijuana or whatever from, I don't know.
He's not getting it from you, is he?
Oh. No, sir. You want to test me right now?
You've got 8 kids. You don't have time to smoke marijuana, do you?
Work and sleep.
I was gonna say you barely have time to do sleep, right?
Exactly. And I have one that just turned 7 months, a fresh one. So yeah.
Oh, bless your heart. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Tell me about all the adults that live in your household.
It's me and my husband.
And you're working.
Don't worry.
Right now, is your husband working right now?
Oh yeah.
Who's going to be there if I were to release Mr. Allen to go home today?
Well, my husband works nights. I work days. So
okay.
Yeah.
So there's an adult there 24/7.
24/7.
And where was this adult that is with Mr. Allen 24/7 on April 17th around 6:30 in the evening?
See, I didn't even know Anthony was gone. Usually, the kids are upstairs and our room is downstairs. And the kids, the older kids, I have an 18-year-old, 17-year-old, so they're all like this. So nobody's gonna, okay, Anthony's gone. So I rarely go upstairs, so I can't even tell you. Yep, I can't even.
So how do you think he got out of your house without you knowing?
I probably was asleep.
Okay. Does he share a bedroom with one of his brothers or sisters?
He does. He shares a bedroom with 2 of his brothers.
And they didn't come snitch on him when he left when he wasn't supposed to?
Oh my God, could you imagine 8 kids? Holy fuck. Also, you know that we're crazy, Mikey. We're already wild. I usually do that off screen, but also, Jody, I don't know what that is. You in Detroit, cops were way out of line.
Nobody snitches on each other.
Oh no.
Nobody tells me nothing.
Uh-oh. This is not going good for you, Mr. Allen, is it?
No, sir.
Yeah.
It'd be better if one of your brothers would go and tell on you, because that would give me reason to believe that if I were to release you, you'd actually stay home like you're supposed to. Oh, what are your thoughts, Mr. Beaver?
Your Honor, I am pleased that Mr. Allen has been.
Every time he says it, I get so happy. Larry Beaver. We're always in party mode, Mikey. That's what the channel is. Sorry. But you do all the good work, and I never claim to do any quality work like you. I always say how shit I am at editing videos. I never said that was my thing. I'm a host.
Like you're supposed to. Oh, what are your thoughts, Mr. Beaver?
Your Honor, I am pleased that Mr. Allen has been on level 1 since April 23rd. And when I've spoken with him, that I made sure that he and I were on the same page and that he knows what his responsibility is if the court does release him today. And also I'm pleased that his mother is here to say that, yes, she is going to be there and make sure that he follows instructions. If I could ask his mother a question or two, please?
You bet.
So, and I'm sorry, is your last name Allen also?
No, my last name is Johnson.
Johnson, okay, thank you. So, Ms. Johnson, are you currently married to Anthony's father?
No, sir.
All right. So what can you tell the court to make the judge feel confident that Anthony is going to follow your rules and not leave without permission and make sure that he's not going to be back in front of the judge again anytime soon?
Well, when I talked to Anthony, Anthony has, said that he would stay home. I'm not going nowhere. I'm not going to hang with the same people. So I'm believing in him, but I hope he learned a lesson. Like you could tell, like when he first.
Not a bad kid. Do you guys believe in Anthony? Do you believe that it was Anthony? He's going to totally change his life around now. She seems like a pretty hands-off mom of 8. I'm just going to say that right now. Like, I'm a mom of 1, and so maybe I don't understand because I have 1 child with it. All my attention goes towards. But I'll be honest, that's all I could really handle. Old man Mikey back to making videos for the masses that we all appreciate. Thank you, Mikey. F in the chat for Mikey as he goes back to work while we hang out and party. Love you, Mikey.
First went, he was okay. But as the time passed and I talked to him, like, Mom, I miss y'all. I'm ready to come home. I'm never going to come here again. So, I believe him.
And maybe it would be a good idea, Ms. Johnson, to make sure that you have a family meeting and everybody understands that they're supposed to look out for one another, not cover for one another when somebody's doing something inappropriate.
One of the siblings that covers is here. So that's why I turned around and looked at him. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Your Honor, we would request that Mr. Allen be released to his mother. I don't see that he has a prior history with the department. And we request that he be released to his mother.
Ms. Johnson, where'd the gun come from?
Judge, I can't tell you. I can't tell you.
Mr. Allen, do you need to talk to your attorney privately, or is there something you want to say?
Yes, sir.
So, Mr. Allen, if it's about the gun, I think that's something that you and I should probably discuss later.
Okay.
So, Ms. Johnson, do you have guns in your house?
Yes, sir, not a one.
Where do you think he got this gun?
He needs better acquaintances.
That didn't answer my question.
Oh, I don't know. He said it wasn't his. He was in a car with, I guess, 3 other guys.
Yeah, but according to the police report, let me read the line to you.
Okay.
Jalen and Anthony both admitted to being involved in the shooting. Period. So that means he knew about the gun and he admitted being involved in it.
Oh, wow.
Does that change your mind on whether or not he really needs to come home to be with your 7 other kids? It might change my mind. Because this is 2 weeks ago. He had a gun 2 weeks ago. Are you convinced that the next time he gets a gun, it's not going to be with one of his 7 brothers and sisters? Are you willing to take that risk?
Yeah.
Because somebody was almost killed in this. They put somebody else in the hospital. And if he and his brothers and sisters are as thick as thieves as the way you describe, what's to say the next time he sneaks out of the house, he doesn't take one of his brothers and sisters with him?
You're right.
Is that a risk we need to take? Has he sufficiently earned your good faith yet? Because I'm not sure he has.
Oh, Mom's
Who's to say the next time it doesn't result in either him getting killed or one of his brothers and sisters getting killed?
I think he learned his lesson. Yeah, I think this is a wake-up call for him.
Anthony, if there's something you want to talk to me about privately, would you wave your hand again, please?
All right. All right, Mr. Allen, if you'll take your mouse or the touchpad and go to the bottom of the screen on the computer. Should be a button that pops up that says more, and you should be able to go into a breakout room.
She's mine. I feel bad for her. Oh dear.
Your Honor, I believe we're back.
Okay. Mr. Dotson?
Yes, sir.
Have you had a chance to talk with Mr. Allen directly?
Over the phone, Your Honor.
Okay. And have you had a chance to meet with family at all?
I spoke with Mom briefly this morning. I haven't had a chance to do the kind of intake interview yet.
Okay.
Hi, Chris.
If I may, Your Honor, just Mr. Allen believes that the offense report contains erroneous information. He denies having been involved in the shooting.
Okay. All right, we've got a baseline for for him being negative for drugs as of today, correct, Mr. Dotson?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. I'm going to take a chance on Miss Johnson. Miss Johnson, I am going to take a chance and release him to you. However, it is your responsibility to make sure he comes back to court next time. Do you understand that? Is that a yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If he doesn't come back to court when he is supposed to, two bad things happen. First, I issue a warrant for his arrest and he goes back to detention. The second bad thing concerns you. I can issue a warrant that results in you being taken to the Tarrant County Jail.
Okay.
If you get taken to the Tarrant County Jail because he runs away, he doesn't come to court, he doesn't feel like doing it, who's going to provide food and shelter and love to his 7 brothers and sisters? Because it's not going to be you, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Now, is Mr. Allen worth taking a chance on, knowing that it will cause harm to his 7 brothers and sisters and your husband? Are you willing to take a chance on that?
Yes.
Do the needs of the one outweigh the needs of the many?
No. But
No, they don't, do they?
They don't. They don't. They don't.
So you're willing to gamble. Are you willing to gamble on one kid for the sake of the other 7? That's how serious this is.
Yeah, I see. I see.
You see what you're doing to your mother, Mr. Allen, right?
Yes, sir.
Let's flip the script. Mr. Allen, you're in your mom's shoes. Should she take a gamble on one kid at the expense of the other 7?
No, sir.
If she does take a gamble on you, how are you going to make sure she makes it, that it's worth it to her?
I'm going to listen.
What?
I'm going to listen.
I can't hear you.
I'm going to listen.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes, sir.
if he sneaks out of the house, the first thing you need to do is pick up the phone and call Mr. Beaver and let him know. The second thing you need to do is pick up the phone and call Mr. Dotson and let Mr. Dotson know, okay? Because it's going to be Mr. Dotson's responsibility to tell me. But Mr. Beaver needs to be in on that conversation too, okay? All right, I'm going to order that he be released to you. He'll be released on an electronic monitor. That way, Mr. Allen, if you leave the house, I'll know about it within 20 seconds. So you're on house arrest until further notice. You cannot leave that house for any reason whatsoever unless that reason is pre-approved by your probation officer. I'm not going to let mom make the decision. I'm going to let Mr. Dotson be the one to make that decision, okay? You leave the house, we'll know about it within 20 seconds. So you can't leave the house. All right? All right, that's going to be the order of the court. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Your Honor. I believe that's it for me. May I be excused, please?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Beaver.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Beaver, Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
Beaver, Las Vegas.
It's coming.
It's almost it, ladies and gentlemen. That pretty much is it. In fact, we've almost been going for 3.5 hours. Hold on, let me switch scenes, as they call it. If you want to know what I call this one, why does that? I call this one live scene me big, because I'm a simple girl and I need things written out for me. So, you guys, I had a wonderful evening. I think we're going to make this a thing. Turn back time Tuesdays, where we go back in time and we watch old cases like this, Judge Kim, Judge Porter, if we can get more. I know there's a couple really good Judge Porter ones I'd love to get. Please pardon me. Also, I want to let you know of some upcoming schedule changes because of obviously my upcoming trip. So I will likely not be live streaming on Thursday or Friday of this week coming up, but I will try and post some videos, and I will be back live with you come Saturday and then going forward, subject to internet availability. But I am going to make some travel vlog type videos. I told you guys about this already, that are not going to be court related, but it's just going to be basically traveling related. So I hope you enjoy those. I know withdrawals coming. Hopefully, well, we know Mikey was working hard tonight. Maybe he's got a couple extra things in the bag for us. Anyways, you guys, please remember, I had a great night tonight. I really did. And I hope you did too. Please remember that I love you. I am proud of you. And for tonight, the answer is I will see you tomorrow. Okay? Bye. Also, thank you, Larry Beaver. And this was, again, a great overview of the origins of Larry Beaver. Love y'all. Night.